And I'm ready for some football. It's a beautiful night out here in Colby.
Yeah, it is a great night. Last year, of course, we had to make 2 of those trips out here to the western Kansas area, and of course this year 2 of those are coming our way. But this is our one trip where we're heading far out here to the west to Colby. Like you said, it's a great night. A little bit of a breeze coming here, but not too bad. I think I heard him say next door Denham Field, I think is the name of this place here, and the field's in really good shape. The markings are phenomenal out there, and the should be a great night for football.
It'll be a great night for football, and on a note that nobody wants to talk about very much, but Coach Lambert is not here. He's in the hospital, so we need to all say a collective prayer for Coach Tim Lambert. He's in Salina Hospital and hopefully doing well and recovering well, and we're going to get a victory for him tonight. But I got an interview with Coach Chris McClure out on the field here a little bit ago, so we'll have that for you after a while. But he said the kids are really adjusted. They know what to do. They've worked. This is already the 4th game of the year, so their offense is running smooth. The defense is playing exceptional, and I think the Vikings will be ready tonight.
Yeah, I think the timing of it probably worked out about as well as you could have asked for the team. Definitely, we didn't want Coach Lambert to be away, but at the same time, they had the week to prepare without him to try to make that adjustment. I think early in the week, there were a lot of questions and a lot of things like that, but I think the team has really rallied around that whole element. Coach McClure going to be calling the offensive plays tonight. Coach Henderson going to continue DCing from up top. So a lot of the things are going to be consistent here. And again, these guys know the brand of football they want to play. They know the style Coach Lambert wants them to play. We're going to see that exact same thing from them tonight. Not to mention the fact that they're coming on this high, 3 straight wins to start the year. You come in here undefeated. Now, again, you got to keep your heads. You got to be ready to go because you have a hungry Colby team to play against tonight, but they're going to be ready to go.
Yeah, the Vikings are 3-0, like Coach said, and Colby coming in with a 1-2 record. They've given up. They won their first game against Hugoton 35-7, and then they dropped one to Cimarron and dropped one to Ulysses. So they certainly are looking to rebound and get back in the win column. So yeah, they're going to really be ready to play some football. We'll take our first time out. We'll come back and talk more about some stats for the games. And both these teams are orange and black, and both these teams like to run the ball. They pass just a little more than we do, but we'll talk about all that after this 2-minute timeout. And welcome back to Colby, Kansas. Don Bingson along with Doug Snyder. Got Jared Bates working the controls for us once again. Got Mike Rose filming also tonight, so you're going to get video and audio with us. Hope we can get all that tuned in at live.smokyvalley.org or SVHS football is where you can find it as well. So hope you can tune in and watch and listen, and hope we can bring a Viking victory to you tonight. But the Vikings have 863 yards of offense. Jerome Autry is just doing, or Justice Autry is just doing a great job with 385 yards. He is just a quick scat back, and Stanbaugh with 263 and Cade Blanchett with 200. I mean, they're just a triumphant running machine back there.
Yeah, those three backs have done such a great job, and each one of them brings something different to the table. You've got the speed of Autry, you've got that hammer ability of Tristan Stanbaugh, and then you throw in Cade Blanchett, who brings a little bit of both to the table, and it gives them a really strong backfield to be able to work with.
And then you got Carson Peel, who's just getting kind of learning the process of being a high school quarterback. He's been out the last couple of years, but he's starting to feel and look a little more comfortable back there. He's up to 175 yards of passing, so he's a threat as well.
Yeah, he's really getting a lot more confident back there. You know, I think the first couple of games he really looked for Haven, Lysell Stewart a lot, who's having a great season, not only receiving but also blocking. He's been an amazing blocker off that line. But I think as the games have worn on, you know, you saw Braxton House get a catch last week as well. He's starting to see the field a little bit more. So I think Carson's continuing to really go into that role.
Yeah, he is, and he's also leading our defense in tackles. We'll maybe have time to talk about that before we get the kickoff of the game. But on the other hand, here's Colby with a couple of outstanding backs.
Yeah, Colby's done a nice job this year too. I know they come in 1-2, but they've actually done a nice job. Actually outscored their opponents by 10 this year. They had that one big win to start the season off, and then have lost 2 in a row. But they are led by Tyler Voss. He has 58 carries this year for 336 yards and 3 touchdowns. Their second leading rusher, Zane Betts, he's got 192 yards this year on 34 carries. He has 2 touchdowns. And then Hunter Vaughn, he's their third back, 19 carries for 63 yards. But also they do pass the ball. Hunter Vaughn, 29 for 55 this year for 341 yards. He does have 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions to go with it. So they do mix and match a little bit. They've thrown the ball a little bit more than what we have this year. But you're definitely going to have to watch out for both. And, of course, tonight they're going to try to throw everything and the kitchen sink, I think, at the Vikings.
Yeah, no question about that. They'll throw everything there is to throw at the Vikings. So, yeah, they're gonna certainly want to do that. So we're going to take another 1-minute commercial. When we come back, we'll have an interview with Coach Chris McClure as he and Coach Henderson are filling in for Coach Lambert tonight. You're listening to Smoky Valley Football. Back after this 1 minute. I'm out. And welcome back to more Viking Pregame. Don Bingson along with Coach Chris McClure tonight, as Coach Tim Lambert is out, not available, not at the game tonight. So kind of coaching by committee, but got an interview with Coach McClure here as he and James Henderson, the defensive coordinator, are going to kind of coach by committee tonight. But Coach Lambert has been out all week, and it's been a different week of practice.
Yeah, for sure. You know, when the head guy isn't there, and especially a guy who brings as much knowledge and intensity as Coach Lambert, it's a different feel at practice for sure. But I think the boys have done a great job of understanding. You know, we have a lot of coaching experience with Coach Henderson, Coach Elliott, Coach Meyer, and myself. And we've been with Tim a while, so and the kids understand what Tim wants, and so they've done a pretty good job.
But you come in 3-0, so everything's been clicking pretty well, both offense and defense, especially the defense, to hold the teams out of the end zone with 1st and goal 3 times in the last 2 games. That's exceptional.
Yeah, our defense has been playing really well. The guys are starting to figure out exactly what we're requiring of them and get to their fits, and we've been tackling pretty well, so hopefully that'll continue.
Yeah, you want to tackle well, but the offense has been going too, especially Jerome Autry with averaging over 200 yards or 100 yards a game, and he's just been outstanding.
Yeah, Justice actually.
Yeah.
Jerome is back this week, and he might get some help defensively. But yeah, Justice has been running the ball really well. For no bigger than he is, he really runs the ball hard and obviously very elusive.
Yeah, he is. We're going to call him a quick one back there, no question about that. But they run because the offensive line makes holes.
Yeah, our offensive line, a lot of them are new this year. We graduated 4 starters last year. I think Holt's the only returner. This week will be a little bit tougher because we lose Alex Grosland. He's got a little Achilles injury. But Cody Krause will have to step in and fill his shoes. So we'll see how they do. But those guys are starting to click a little bit too.
You got to be happy with the way you've started, but now you take a long road trip to Colby. Even though they're 1-2, we certainly have never, as Vikings, taken anybody for granted.
No, for sure. And with the district starting, and we've been telling the boys that every week we're 0-0. We got to win this week. Doesn't matter that we're 3-0. Colby doesn't care we're 3-0.
Exactly.
So it's a new season for us, and we got to go out and try and get 1-0 tonight.
Yeah, 1-0 would be a great start tonight. How about a couple of keys to victory?
Their running backs run the ball really hard, so we're going to have to continue to tackle well. And then the guy calling the plays is going to have to try and do a good job with that. Tim's been in this system for 30 years, and he knows his stuff, and hopefully I'll just do enough to get us in the end zone more than they are.
Well, sounds like a plan, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Chris McClure of the Vikings, and we'll be back with more pregame right after this.
And welcome back to Colby, Kansas. This is Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers and Mocha's Cafe are proud supporters of area activities and athletes. Check out Freddy's at 2420 South 9th Street and Mocha's Cafe at 902 East Crawford in Salina. They are the hosts of the pregame show. Also want to thank our sponsors that help us with our portion of the broadcast, including Harry Malari, Farm Bureau, White's Food Liner, Lindsberg Realty, Liz Lahadney, Owner Broker, Pizza Hut, Dr. Darrell Loader, Smoky Valley Chiropractic, Mari Loader, Caldwell Banker, Real Estate, Old Stuga, C&L Heating and Cooling, Dower Welding, Bank of Tiscott, Crick Christian's Funeral Home, First Bank Kansas, Art Shirt, Salina Ortho, People's Bank and Trust, Arnreiner CPA, Midway Motors, Farmer State Bank, Gallant Tire and Auto, Smoky Valley Booster Club, and Lindsberg Family Dental Care, the Vikings, and the Colby Eagles ready to take battle. And you want to do some starting lineups for us? Starting lineups presented by Salina Ortho continues to strive for excellence in orthopedic care. Our physicians provide world-class care and treatment options with a personal touch, serving North Central Kansas since 1973.
Yeah, starting defensively tonight for Colby. Across the inside there, you've got Shane Puckett, number 54, number 66, Ian Rosales, number 58, Zach Griffin. Then they have kind of a unique look. Sometimes they'll go with a 6'2 or a 4'4, or there's some different looks we're going to see from them tonight. Tyler Voss, number 4, the senior. Bryce Myers plays their free safety position, number 27. Inside linebacker Zach Castigliano. He plays number 50 there. Nick Raymer, number 56. Colin Carroll, number 30. Strong safety Hunter Vaughn. And then at the corners, they've got Carson Van Eaton, number 23, and number 21, Connor Lanning. For the Vikings across the offense, Gus Griffith, 6'3", 270-pound junior, number 70. Number 77, Justin Holt, 6'2", 230-pound junior. It's center. We've got number 52, Austin Sharp, 5'10", 180-pound junior. At right guard, number 51, Richard Zeller, 6', 185-pound junior. And starting at right tackle tonight for Alex Groslin is going to be Cody Kraus, number 56, the senior in there as well. The slot back tonight, Cade Blanchett, 6'4", 180-pound junior, number 11. Tight end, Haven Lysell Stewart, 6'4", 215-pound senior. Number 7, Vincent Pickering at wide receiver, 6'1", 185-pound junior. And then in the backfield, Tristan Stanbaugh, the 6'3", 225-pound junior. Justice Autry, 5'7", 130-pound junior, number 22. And at quarterback tonight, Carson Peel, number 9, at 6 foot, 170 pounds.
Colby won the toss and elected to take the ball, so the Vikings will go on defense. It's an east-west field, so they'll be looking into the sun for another maybe 15 or 20 minutes here. Probably get through the first quarter before it'll be a problem, but the Vikings will be defending the west goal. Trevor Jones will be set to kick it off, and back deep for Colby will be number 20, McGreer, and number 15, that'll be Isaiah Rosales. They're in all black uniforms, black helmets. Some of them have black shoes on. The Vikings in all white with black numerals, trimmed in orange, black helmets. So it's orange and black against the orange and black.
Yeah, and first night of districts too. You know, yeah, Coach McClure mentioned it. Doesn't matter if you're 3-0 or 0-3 right now. It's game time here for these next sets of games, and extremely important for the Vikings to step up and play. Colby knows it too. They know that this is the first step in the rest of their season, so it's going to be a spirited battle here tonight from Denning Field.
No question about that. As Jones puts the ball down on the near hash, we are on the north side of the field. Like I said, it's an east-west field. We're on the north side in their press box, and we're ready to go. Hope you can enjoy football action from Colby here tonight. The whistle has blown, and we're set to go. It's a long end-over-end kick. It's going to take a bounce before McGreer takes it at the 20 or 15. Now swarmed under and taken down before he gets to the 20. No, he got just across the 20 up to the 21. So that's where Colby will take it over, 1st and 10. And boy, this Viking defense has been outstanding. We certainly would love to have them get a 3-and-out right away.
Yeah, this Viking defense has definitely been strong this year. They've given up 236 yards total offense per game, 122 via the rush, 113 via the pass, and they've only given up 32 total points, only averaging 10.7 points against them this year.
Pickering and Griffith and Kraus and Holt would be the front four. It's a snap, and first guy through is going to have it. He's got a little bit of room. He gets up to near the 30-yard line, so a pickup of about 7 on the first down, and good offense for Colby on the get-go.
Yeah, nice run by Voss. A little bit of patience as he went through that line. Looked like he was bottled up inside there and really took the time to be able to kind of sneak his way behind his blocker and pick up a few yards. A no-huddle offense for them as they get right back. Not really a spread offense per se. I mean, they do have a couple of wides there, but they do go the shotgun most of the time.
Vaughn is the quarterback, but like you said, Griffin's right next to him, and he's going to kind of shovel pass it out to the edge, and there's a first down yardage, and more going up the sideline is number 34, Bet, so he'll get first down yardage. So we don't get our 3-and-out, and they get a first down all the way up to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, and Colby's first 2 plays, they go with their 2 top rushers. Again, you've got Voss running the first one, and he's got 336 on the year, and that was Betts. He's got almost 200. That should put him over 200 for the year, actually.
Actually, it's at the 40-yard line, 1st and 10. Here comes the pass out into the flat, caught. Closing right away is Blanchett, but near first down yardage. They're going to give him first down yardage right at midfield or just across, and they get another first down. That was Bryce Myers on the catch.
You know, they've moved the ball relatively effectively in their games. Like I said, their first game put up 35 points and then just kind of got stymied in the last few as far as points were concerned, but they were still close games.
3 receivers on the near side. Here comes the run to the far side. It looks like Vikings are going to get out on the edge, and there goes 30, 20. It's a foot race. Beaker's going to catch him, but all the way down inside the 15-yard line goes Voss.
Yeah, Voss, again, their leading rusher, went right off the left end there. Looked like he was trapped a little bit close to the line. The Vikings all bit in tight. He was able to bump it out to the edge. Luckily, Max Beaker was able to chase and catch him, like you said, right about the 10-yard line, maybe just outside the 10. Looks like they're still going to be able to get a first down, so maybe about the 11 or 12.
Yeah, they are. But Beaker went out now. Autry came in for him and a little dinged up on that play. Here's a man in motion to the near side. Now a counter inside. Voss has got it again. He's going to he drops the ball. The Vikings get it. So a turnover and ball picked up by Mr. Holt.
Yeah, he was trying again to go off that left side. They were actually pulling a couple people there. And actually, let's go Holt on that one. Justin knocks it out of his hands, and then he also covers the ball up. And so a good first drive for Colby, but they come away empty-handed. And instead, the Vikings are going to have the ball in a great position here of getting them stopped. They're going to be at about the 20-yard line here.
Yeah, lucky for the Vikings. They got a turnover when they needed it. Now the Viking offense will go to under the direction of Carson Peel. Wishbone formation. Blanchett driving through, and he gets all the way up to the 22 or 3-yard line. Looked like it'll be pickup of almost 5. They'll call it 4, and 2nd and 6 for Smoky Valley.
Yeah, I think that was actually Tristan maybe that's going up through the middle there.
Yep.
Kind of hard to tell when they go to that bone, and we were going to mention it, but Coach McClure said we're going to open the game in bone 12, and that was bone 12.
Yeah.
They went right up the middle there and tried to establish that presence with their big bruising back, Tristan Stambaugh.
Double tight end, wishbone formation again on 2nd down for Smoky Valley. Here comes Blanchett trying to get the outside. He's got running room. He's up across the 25, 30, and up to near the 32, 33-yard line. Great run by Blanchett.
Yeah, almost a 10-yard run there across the left-hand side by Blanchett, and actually just got tripped up by the feet. Otherwise, I think he might have been able to break the tackle of Voss there, number 4, but instead he was able to finish him off. But a good first run now and good momentum for this Viking offense.
Yeah, after they turn over the Colby Eagles, that's certainly what they wanted to do, is get a drive established and ready to go again with the wishbone formation. Long play count. Here comes Autry trying to get outside. He's trying to get outside. He's scooting around. He's at the 40, 45 midfield, down to the 40-yard line and pushed out of bounds by Vaughn. But good run by Mr. Autry, the Meerkat Autry.
The Meerkat takes it for about a 24-yard gain there. Nice run off the right side. And again, just showing off his speed. And I think this is a little bit of where Colby has struggled this year, has been on the defensive end. I think, like I said, they've moved the ball effectively, but they've just given up points and had turnovers that have really hurt them.
The Vikings are driving. Here comes Stambaugh again up the middle. He gets across to the 40-yard line, maybe to the 39, so he'll pick up about 3, maybe. It'll be 2nd and 7.
You mentioned those 3 backs before we started the game tonight, Stambaugh, Autry, and Blanchett, and so far each one of them has rotated on who's handled the ball. Each one of the backs had the first 3 carries. Now you're back to Stambaugh again. They're just continuing to go with what they do well, which is run the football and give it to those backs and make them make plays, and their offensive line's doing a great job getting blocks.
Yeah, the tight ends, both tight ends, Lysell and Pickering, will get the lineman for you in just a little bit. Peel again, hands off, going to Autry. This time he's swarmed under in the backfield. He really didn't have a chance to get anywhere as he was triumphant tackle there. A threesome of big guys in the middle.
Yeah, it looked like Ian Rosales there sneaking back through, number 66, on behalf of Colby, really getting up in there. He's their senior, and he had a couple of other guys helping him out, but he was first contact, and they really were able to bust through that Viking line that time to get him. It's still going to be about 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. You got to figure we're near 4-down territory with our offense, especially if we can pick up a few here, but we might see the first pass tonight from Carson Peel.
2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Carson looking in the outside flat. He gets Lysell. He's trying to break a tackle, but he's not going to go anywhere. It's going to be 4th down and 8 from the 40-yard line. they didn't fool Colby on that one. It took a little bit long for Carson to get that pass out to Lysell.
Yeah, it took long, but they had Haven Lysell on this near side. Looked like they were just trying to hit him and let him try to do something against a smaller cornerback. But like you said, the pass drew him in just a little bit, forced him to have to go inside, and a great tackle there by Colby as well on the edge. And that's going to put a fourth down here, and it looks like the Vikings are going to try to pin him back deep here early in this first quarter. 7:45 still to play.
Stanball just be on the Smoky Valley side of the midfield. He gets a good snap. It's a spiraling kick. It looks like it's going to be taken by Betts about the 10-yard line, trying to get outside now up the middle. He withstands one tackle but gets up to near the 20-yard line. That's where Colby will take over 1st and 10. And no score here in the early going, about halfway through the first quarter.
Yeah, Bryce Myers catching that one deep there, and he ends up bringing it back, but a nice stick by Cody Kraus hit him hard up top and then was able to hold on to the ankle there and get him down. And we're right back about where we started, Don, when they had the ball the first time and drove the ball effectively down the field before the turnover. And now no worse for wear. They get a chance to get their second drive of the night.
Two receivers on the near side now, a man in motion to the near side. Now rolling out on the other way is Vaughn. The screen side, a great job by Mr. Holt. No, that wasn't Holt, that was Sharp. Austin Sharp read that perfectly from his linebacker position and made a tackle for no gain on the play.
Yeah, great job by Austin there, reading that play, getting off in the flat. They kind of did a little reverse pivot back in the backfield and tried to turn the play away from the near side back to the far side. Didn't fool the Vikings at all, and it's going to be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that faked everybody out but Mr. Sharp, and great play. There's a pass quick in the flat and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, number 23, Carson Van Eaton. So it's incomplete, and it'll bring up 3rd and long for Colby.
Yeah, as effectively as they moved the ball earlier on the ground, now they decided to go to the air here on these first two and it come up empty on both plays. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 10. Vikings going to sub in a little bit here and go a little bit smaller, get a little bit more pass coverage here as they take Krause out, bring Braxton House into the game.
Three receivers on the far side for Vaughn. Back beside him is Voss. 3rd and long. They're going to try to get it to the outside. Voss is playing it slow, but he's not going to make it. He's going to be short. He does get across the 25 up to about the 27, but it's going to be 4th and 3 deep in their own territory. And I don't know if they're going to roll the dice enough to try to make a big 4th down here or not.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to roll the dice, but definitely a nice job of running there. I mean, he does a nice job, Voss does, at getting behind his pulling lineman there and being able to get behind him. And that was a very effective gain. I think looking at this, they might feel like they can get some more yards here on Smoky Valley.
They're going to go for it on a critical 4th down here early, trying to get the Vikings to jump off sides. They don't. Good job by the Viking front 4 to stay down. They're looking at their play clock. They're trying to decide what to do. They are going to snap it. Voss is going to take it on that right side, and he's going to get 1st down yardage. Boy, that was power running by the senior Voss, and he got the 1st down yardage needed.
Yeah, they waited about as long as you could wait on that play clock. They definitely utilized all the time, tried to get the Vikings to jump on a couple of occasions, and hats off to Smoky Valley for making sure that they held their ground. But then they run that little dive play just off the left-hand side, and he's able to pick up the 1st down.
Wide receiver to the near side. Got a kind of a flex bone formation. It's a reverse, inside reverse to number 34, but there's somebody that grabbed a hold of him. Big number 77 for the Viking, Justin Holt, was just snuffed out that play from the very get-go.
Yeah, he was still just coming off his block in the middle, but again, the Viking defenders staying home, knowing their jobs, knowing what they have to do, definitely making sure that they're depending on one another to be in the right places, and they all were. And again, Justin's around where the play's at, makes the play.
No score here. 5:05 left to go. First quarter action. 3 receivers near side for Vaughn. Shotgun snap. He's going to give it off to Vosso on that right side. He's going to get it. He lost the ball, and it's a wrestling match for the ball. But I think Colby's going to keep the ball. Yeah, it's recovered by number 56 over there. One of the linemen, Reimer, pulling. So a lucky play by Colby there to get the ball, keep it now, 3rd and about 8.
Yeah, I couldn't tell who exactly knocked it out of his hands. There was a lot going on there, but a couple of different players in there trying to make a play, but that's the 2nd time the ball's come out on that, and again, this time they're able to cover it, but 3rd and long.
Here comes a run to this side, trying to get going again, and Vikings have it bottled up, and now he breaks through and gets first down yardage. Strong running by Voss. He looks like a really strong runner.
Yeah, he does such a nice job here. You know, he's averaging nearly 5.8 yards per carry this season, so he definitely moves the ball well. And oddly enough, I think it was Voss that fumbled both times correctly, and he had not fumbled yet this season, and so already has 2 fumbles early, one of those lost, but again, continues to move the chains.
First down, Colby driving here with 4 minutes left to go. Here comes another counter play inside. This one's got some yardage going across midfield and right at the first down yardage stake. That was number 34, Betts on the carry, and the Vikings are giving up chunks of yardage here.
Yeah, it's going to come back, though. They've got a hold right there in the middle. Saw the flag go down in the center, and they are going to call that hold. But, again, they are getting chunks of yardage when they need it. You know, the Vikings have had them in a tough spot on a couple of occasions so far in this drive, and they've made it out of both of those, one a 4th down, one a 3rd and long, and they've gotten out of trouble each time. But right now, they're going to be back behind the sticks a little bit here with this penalty, and now they're going to have a lot longer to go. They're going to measure it, of course, from where the hold happened, which is a little further up the field, so it looks like it's going to be about a 1st and 15, 16?
First and we'll call it 15. Ball at the 37-yard line to go. They got to get across midfield to the 48. 3 receivers near side. Viking defense, Blanchett and Abel and Dower over here covering on this side. Vaughn is taking the snap, going to hand it off up the middle to Voss again. This time Stambaugh gets a hold of him up top, and I think it's Vincent Pickering got a hold of him down low. No, it's Autry.
Justice Autry in there making that play. He got down to the legs quickly coming in from that backside, and there was nobody over there since all 3 receivers were on this side, so Justice was pinned in tight.
That's Jerome.
That was Jerome, I'm sorry. Jerome was in there tight, and he was able to make the tackle on the play. Good to have Jerome back again from that shoulder injury, and he's already been in there on a couple of plays.
Now, Beaker went out early with that little injury on that long tackle, so he's out right now. So his brother is playing in his spot. Vaughn looking over with 3 receivers on the near side, gives it hands off to Voss again. He gets through one tackle, trying to break another one, gets up to the original line of scrimmage, but there he's tackled by a host of Vikings, including Austin Sharp and Haven Lysell Stewart.
Yeah, hard running there by Voss. I'm really impressed by how well he runs the football. This time broke a couple of tackles back in the backfield and was able to get the ball up the field. Now they're back to the original line of scrimmage, 3rd and 10. Vikings had him 3rd and 10 just a little while ago and couldn't get him stopped. They picked up 7 and then the first down on 4th down.
2 receivers far side. Rolling out this side is Vaughn looking in the flat to his receiver. He's got caught, and he's going to be taken down by Dower just across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. He gets some help from Sharp, but it'll be 4th down and about 7.
Yeah, Carson Van Eaton on the catch. That was his 4th reception of the season so far for them. He had 3 coming in, and this time a 4th and a little bit longer than what they had last time. They had 4th and 3. This time it was 4th and 6. I tell you, one of the things Vaughn likes to do, there was a lot of reverse pivoting back there. He catches the ball, pivots out the opposite way, and then rolls. Might see him do some sort of a design boot here, too.
Here comes a run with outside, trying to get outside. They got first down yardage and more. So great play. They had 1 receiver on this side. They gave him, that was Betts. They gave him the ball and went to their strength on the far side, and they got that first down yardage. So they're continuing to show they're a quality team.
Yeah, another nice little jet sweep, green sweep look there, as we call it. He came from the near side in the slot position over here and came all the way across, receives that handoff in the shotgun formation, takes it off the left side toward the Viking bench and picks up a first down.
2 receivers near side. Well, actually a flanker and a receiver to the near side. Vaughn has gone all the way in that shotgun formation. Now he's going to toss it to Voss, try to get outside. He's got a little bit of room. Blanchett and company take him down, but not before he gets about 7, maybe 8 yards on the carry, getting down to the 35-yard line.
You can definitely see the game plan tonight is to try to get to the edge as much as you can. I don't think they want to stay around those Viking defensive linemen or those Viking linebackers, so there's a lot of pitch outs, a lot of things with momentum. They're going to keep us honest by still running the ball up the middle once in a while with with Voss or with Betts, but I think they want to get to the edge more often than not.
3 receivers near side here because the counter going back to the outside. And good job. Oh, he breaks another tackle, Vaughn. There's going to be a flag on the play, and I don't know what that is. We'll see what it is, if it's holding on them again. But it comes out there as Voss is breaking another Viking tackle.
Yeah, I think they might catch number 30 with a hold there. I think that's who it was.
Yeah.
I think Colin Carroll was right there, and I think it was Pickering that had the first attempt at him, and he ends up pulling Pickering to the ground.
Yeah,
and I think that's going to be that call right there. So, again, would have been a first down for him. Instead, it's going to move it back. Now they're going to be looking at about 2nd and 14 here.
Yeah, get them behind the sticks again. One of these times our defense had been so good, and I mentioned in our article in the game day, which goes on at 6 o'clock on 1150 KSAO, we've been a bend but don't break defense. We've given up yardage on some drives to some of these other teams, but when it gets time to get the ball back, we got a turnover last time, see what we can do this time.
I tell you, one thing that we're seeing in this first quarter, though, is Colby's maintaining the time of possession. They're keeping that Viking offense off the field a lot, and they're moving the ball. I mean, we're down to 1 minute here left in this first quarter already.
3 receivers to the near side. Vaughn and Voss in the backfield right next to each other. 2nd down and 14. Under a minute left first quarter, still no score. There's Voss going that right side where it's weak, no help over there, and he's going to get wrapped up. Lysell finishes him off on top, and Sharp had him by the ankles, and he gets a gain of maybe a yard on the play up down to the 45-yard line where it's going to be 3rd and 13.
Not much over there, but I tell you, it looked like he was going to have even less. He does a lot of spinning out of some tackles over there, but Lysell, Stewart, and also Sharp, like you said, right there to make that sure-handed tackle. And again, we've got him behind the sticks at about 3rd and 13, and they've been able to get these on 4th down most of the time. They certainly have not held back from trying to go for it on 4th down, so you know they're going to look for at least half here.
2 receivers near side, 1 to the far side. Now Betts in motion to this side. It's an option play on the side. It's still looking, and Lysell tackles him for a loss. Great job by Haven Lysell back at the 49-yard line. It's going to be 4th and 14 or 15.
That's going to be a great play for the Vikings to end the quarter on. Now Colby's going to have to talk about probably punting here to open this second quarter.
No score after 1 quarter. Second quarter coming up after this 1-minute timeout. You're listening to Smoky Valley Football. And welcome back to Colby as the second quarter is getting ready to start. Do we have any stats yet? Do we have any scores yet?
Got a couple scores. Heston up 7-0 on Wichita Collegiate. That's in the first quarter. And Haven and Marion knotted up at 6 all so far. Statistically so far, at least what we have updated here, Colby's got 114 yards of total offense compared to 41 for the Vikings. But, of course, the Vikings only had their 6 plays of offense there, while Colby had the ball for 19 offensive plays in that first quarter. Again, Smoky Valley only had the ball for 1 possession, and Colby's been able to move the ball effectively. But here, they're going to be forced to punt.
Yeah, they are back about the 40-yard line where he'll be punting it from. Deep for the Vikings is Autry and Autry. High snap, he goes back and gets it. It's a high short kick. The Vikings are not going to have any chance to take a return here. It takes a little bit of a Colby bounce inside the 25 down to the 23, but that's where the Vikings will have it. 1st and 10, their first possession now of the quarter.
I tell you, that didn't take much of a bounce. If that was if that was a chip shot, that was about as nice as you could have landed that. That thing bounced straight up and down 2 or 3 times and just stuck in that spot. If he could have gotten a little more leg into it, he might have really been able to pin the Vikings deep, but instead they will start just across the 20 here with their second possession of the night.
Vikings in that wishbone formation, again, double tight formation. Pickering and Lysell are the tight ends. We'll get the lineman for you in just a moment. Here's a toss, going to try to get Autry outside, going to try to use his speed. He gets away from one tackler, but a great tackle on the next one. Pickup of only 2 on the play.
Yeah, nice tackle there by Connor Lanning, their senior. He was able to come off his corner or safety, actually corner position there, and never got a hat on him. I mean, they were trying to stretch that play out, see if he could get to the edge. Lanning played that well. Short gain, but a gain nonetheless.
2 yards gain, Kraus, Zeller, Sharp, Holt, and Griffiths. Griffiths 70, Holt 77, Sharp number 52, Zeller number 51, and Cody Kraus
number 56.
66. Here comes Blanchett trying that left side. He's going to get a couple yards, and he'll fall forward about the 24. It's going to be 3rd and about 4.
Yeah, good hard running by Blanchett on the other side. Again, not picking up a lot, but picking up some. You know, in that first quarter, like I said, didn't have the ball a lot. Autry's at 22 yards, 24 yards now. Blanchett now going to be at about 14 yards. Tristan Stambaugh at 7 yards. So like I said, not a lot of offense, but they have moved the ball effectively when they had to.
So 3rd down, facing the 3rd down here is Smoky Valley. 3rd down and long 4. Turning, handing off to Blanchett, trying that left side again. He's going to spin, get to it of the block, and get the first down yardage and more across the 40. Midfield down to the 45. Great run, great second effort by Blanchett.
Yeah, great run. He got bottled up on that left-hand side, spun out of it, and is able to take the ball all the way into Colby territory at the 44. That's going to be a gain of about 25 yards, I think, on that play.
20-plus yards.
Yeah.
So great job by Cade Blanchett. That was a second effort.
That was a tremendous second effort. Great play by Cade.
House is now the tight end on the near side. We're on the north side. We're on the Colby side in the home press box. No score, but the Vikings driving here at the 10-10 mark of the second quarter. Wishbone formation. Here comes Stambaugh blasting up the middle. He gets his feet taken out from under him. He's going to get maybe a yard on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 9. But, boy, they really bottled it up inside. Rosales and Puckett for the Colby Eagles.
Yeah, it looked like Puckett submarined in there underneath Sharp right after he snapped the ball. And not much Austin could do about that, but it definitely slowed up Stambaugh that time and allowed other players to come in and finish him off. So a very short gain for Tristan. But, again, keeping him honest in the middle of the field.
Got to keep him honest to make that outside work. Pickering back in now for House as a tight end on the Viking right side. Wishbone formation, turn and hand it off to Autry, trying to go up the middle. He's going to get to the 45-yard line, but that's about it. So he'll get about 3. It's going to be 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, again, kind of angling up the middle there for Justice. A little 15 dive or 15 play there, as the Vikings call it. He had to turn that one up inside because there wasn't much over here on this near side. Doesn't pick up a lot of yards, and I think you said about 3rd and 6 here. So a little behind the sticks, but definitely in four down territory here as they're at the 40-yard line of Colby.
9 minutes left until halftime. No score in this ball game yet. Vikings facing a 3rd and a long 6 here in Colby territory. Wishbone formation. Carson's going to roll out, try to pass, looking down the field. Here comes a flag out. Pass caught by Blanchett across the 30. Still on his feet at the 20, 15, 10. He's going to go all the way, but there's a flag back here. We'll see what the penalty is, whether this one will stand or not.
They threw that flag early. It was interesting to see maybe what they're going to see on this.
The signal on the field is touchdown. It's a sideline warning, so the play will stand.
Yeah, it will.
It's a 40-yard touchdown pass. Carson Peel to Blanchett.
Yeah, they come out of the bone on this play, and actually Blanchett comes out of the backfield on the near side. He ends up coming just out into the flat, slips out, finds the ball, able to then break through about 4 different Colby players there, and only one of them got a hand on him as he takes the ball directly to the goalpost for the first score of the night of the Vikings, and that puts them up 6-0 here with 8:41 left in the first half.
Yeah, I didn't want to get too excited about it because I was afraid it wasn't going to count. But Vikings will go I formation for the 2-point conversion now. Turn and hand it off. No, he's going to roll out into the flat looking for Stambaugh over in the corner and passes it into Abel, and he is good. He got his feet. He kind of tiptoed the sideline, and the 2-point conversion pass is good. The Vikings lead 8-0 at the 8:41 mark. Back after this 30-second timeout. Base working the controls for us once again as the Vikings put together a drive of...
I think we're going to be looking at like 6 plays here, 77 yards. I'm still kind of looking here. I think he got it on the 6th play, if I'm not mistaken. We'll probably get something. Yeah, but it looks like Dalton just said 6 plays, 77 yards, and, of course, the 40-yard touchdown pass from Peel to Blanchett for the score. That's Carson's 2nd touchdown pass of the season, and that will be the first receiving touchdown this year for Cade Blanchett.
Jones has the signal. Here comes a kick. It's going to be taken by one of the up guys, number 54. It's a 25, trying to get to 30. He gets just past the 30-yard line to the 31, and that's where the Colby Eagles will take over now, down 8-0 as the Vikings draw first blood in this game in the second quarter at the 8:41 mark.
Yeah, very slow. I mean, fast-moving game, not necessarily any team really getting the advantage on the other, but then all of a sudden the Vikings with just a burst here on that particular pass play to Blanchett. Looked like maybe a couple of missed tackles there on behalf of Colby, and that allows the Vikings to get the early lead.
Myers goes out wide to the far side, 2 receivers to the near side. Now flanker Voss goes out into the side, and they're going to pass it to Voss in the flat out here. Sharp's going to try to take him down. He gets some help from Beaker and Abel, and it's going to be a pickup of about 4 on the play. 2nd down and 6. Good Viking defense.
Yeah, again, great pursuit by the Viking defense. They are able to get those little passes in the flat, but people like Sharp and the rest of the gang getting out quick into their spots. That linebacking core is strong, and they're able to get where they want to be when they want to be there, and they're really taking finding out what this Colby team wants to do and taking away their best things.
3 receivers to the far side now. Vaughn's going to hand it off. No pass out in the flat. Caught, but right there is Cade Blanchett taking down the receiver for a couple-yard gain on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and about 4.
Yeah, nice catch on that play again by Bryce Myers. But a Viking defense, like you said, Cade Blanchett, he is right there at the exact moment that he makes the catch. No yards after catch at all, and they set him up with about a 3rd and 4.
So 3rd down, this is 4-down territory because they've gone for it, like you said, several times already. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Voss and Vaughn are in the backfield in that shotgun formation. Now Betts in motion to the far side. Going to fake a handoff to him and go to Voss right up the middle. And he's right near the 1st down yardage, and they're going to call it dead, and it looks like they're going to give him a spot of 1st down Colby.
Yeah, this team, they've scored 61 points on this season, but they've actually only scored 1 touchdown in the first quarter, and they haven't given up any scores in the first quarter, and again, didn't tonight, but they have put up 21 points in the second. They've actually been really consistent the rest of the way in their game, in their quarters, so it'll be interesting to see if Smoky Valley can shut them down here in the second quarter.
3 receivers to the near side. Now man in motion, Betts to the near side. They gave it to him on the handoff on another time, and they give it to him again, trying to get outside. That was a kind of a questionable block there in the back. But Colby got away with that one. Carson Van Eaton got it in the back of one of the Vikings. No flag came out, and it's a gain of about 9 on the play across midfield.
Yeah, it was a tough play. Max Beaker kind of got in there and then kind of got turned around. I think he started with his head in front. Again, I think you're right in the fact that it's a questionable call. I think you could have probably called it either way and maybe seen it, but it does pick up a first start. It does get a nice gain of about 9 for the Colby Eagles.
2nd and 1 now. Betts in motion to the far side. Oh, now turns around, comes back this way, trying to get out the far side again. He gets 1st down yardage and more out across the 45 and down to the 44-yard line, maybe 43, and that'll be 1st down Colby. So they're starting to take the Vikings defense a little bit, but the Vikings bend but don't break will be stiffening up here pretty quick.
Yeah, they almost got us on that one. They kind of reversed out of their motion that time, and they've done such a good job of going almost at the exact same time of the motion. Gus Griffith started to jump there but did not go across, and then they bring him back to the near side here and pick up the 1st down.
They like this formation of 3 receivers to one side or the other. Here comes Voss now up the middle, and Haven Lysell ran it out of the tackle. He could go all the way. 20, 10, 5, touchdown. I thought Haven had him wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, but it's going to be a 43-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, I tell you, Haven got early contact on him, but the only drawback was because of the timing and where he got him at, Haven had to fight off a block, and he was still up high, so he contacted Voss up high, and instead Voss was able to break free of Haven's tackle and take it to the house, 43 yards for the score.
Yeah, big touchdown to get within 2. Now they're going to go for 2. Voss is back in shotgun formation to take a direct snap. Voss is going to hand it off out to Betts, and he'll get in for the score. And our score is 8-8 with 6:42 left to go in the first half. Back after this 30-second timeout. And welcome back to Colby. 6-play, 69-yard drive with a 43-yard touchdown run. The Vikings scored on a 40-yard pass play, so both teams have gotten big plays now to knot the score at 8-8. But kind of like last week, the Vikings scored early. Hillsborough came back and scored, and then the Vikings answered back, and then no more scoring after that. So we'll see what happens here, but it's knotted up at 8-8 now. Both teams looking pretty sharp tonight here. A beautiful night for football in Colby. It's a short kick, end over end, going to go maybe out of bounds. No, Pickering's going to pick it up at the 25-30, trying to get up across the 35 and driven out of bounds about the 37 or 38-yard line. That's where the Vikings will take over 1st and 10.
Tell you what, Colby's doing something that nobody has really done much of lately, and that's run the ball effectively against the Vikings. Tyler Voss already has 13 carries for 132 yards. I tell you, on the season, the Vikings are only giving up 122 yards a contest, and they've already put up 168 yards here in the first half.
Well, the bend but don't break is going to have to show up here pretty quick, because we're certainly bending right now. Wishbone formation for Smoky Valley. Here comes Autry trying to get outside. He's got a little bit of room now, trying to cut back and taken down after about a 4-yard gain. Good effort by Colby to take him down. Good effort by Justice Autry to get the gain.
Tell you, he was able to break a little shimmy shake there to get away from Voss, but again, it was Connor Lanning, their corner, that was able to come up, do exactly what he needed to do, and stop Autry for about a 4-yard gain.
We didn't say much about, but these guys, Colby has 10 players that play both ways. So we talk about wanting to be the fresher team in the fourth quarter. We'll see how the Vikings do here. Late first quarter now, or late first half, 6 minutes to go. Tied up at 8-8. Wishbone formation for Smoky Valley. Turning, handed off to Blanchett, trying to get the outside. He's got a little bit of room, but now he gets double team tackled, and they're going to blow the whistle dead right at the 45-yard line. So pickup of 1, it'll be 3rd and 4.
Tell you what, they run almost what looks like a 5-3. They've got 3 down linemen there. They bring up a couple of different guys. I think one of them's a backer, and one of them is their safety. And then they have a 1 deep safety there, and they have 2 corners on either, or a corner on either side. So they're really bringing their defense up tight. I think that's maybe why you saw Blanchett end up open in the flat earlier. Wouldn't surprise me again to see a play here from Smoky Valley. You know, they really like that play where they slip Lysell Stewart out into the flat or up the field a little ways. Might see that on 3rd and 5.
Going to pitch to Autry trying the outside. He's going to get taken down in the backfield, so it's going to be a loss on the play. They went I formation that time, and somebody penetrated out there. Looks like
that was actually Shane Puckett. That's our defensive end over there, Puckett, and he was able to get out and pick up Autry, something that not a lot of guys off the line have been able to do this year, but that's going to force the Vikings into a punting situation here.
See if they do. The Vikings might go for it. You never know. Sharp went out. The long snapper is Ethan Abel, so he is in there. Stambaugh is back about the 30-yard line, so the Vikings will drive a little bit, but they're going to get and punt it away. Spiraling deep kick going way over the head. What a beautiful kick. Unfortunately, it'll go out to the 20-yard line as it gets all the way into the end zone. What a boot by Tristan Stambaugh.
Yeah, 57-yard punt by Stambaugh. He really got a hold of it. Unfortunately, it's only going to amount to a 37-yard net. But I tell you, it was a pretty punt. Nice spiral punt as it took off from his leg there. And that's going to give Colby the ball, like we said, at the 20. A little bit of momentum from Colby now as they got down here to a big Viking pass. But they responded with a nice drive and a big run from Voss.
2 receivers near side, 1 to the far side, and an 8-8 tie here. Man in motion to the near side for Colby. Going to hand it off to him, trying to get outside. He's got a little seam there. He's got some running room. He's going to break it big up to near the 40-yard line. Vikings just not getting in the gap.
Yeah, not getting in the gap, but they're getting some nice blocking up the field. Connor Lanning engaged with Cade Blanchett, and Cade wasn't able to get off. Jerome Autry also being blocked on the edge, being pushed out. He turns right up between those two and picks up a nice gain before he's knocked out of bounds by Ethan Abel.
So Colby gets a big play on first down to make it all the way up to the 34-yard lines. First down and 10, 4:20 left to go in the first half. 8-8 is our score. 3 receivers to the far side for the Colby Eagles. Single back is Vaughn in the backfield. Now he brings a man in motion, going to take and try to get him out wide. He's got a smidge of room, and he'll get about 3, maybe 4 on the play before Abel and Pickering come up with a tackle.
Yeah, nice run there by Bryce Myers. Myers comes from his slot position there, comes along the edge, and is able to get the handoff. And like you said, picks up a few yards. The Viking defense pretty good on that edge, but they still continue to move the ball. A little under 4 minutes with the clock running here at 3:50, and they're moving the ball again effectively down the field.
Voss in the backfield beside Vaughn. He's going to hand it off to Voss up the middle. He's going to try to hurdle over a would-be Viking tackler about the 40-yard line and up to 41 before Stambaugh and Lysell and Mr. Holt take him down.
A nice little counter look. They brought a player in motion that time and faked it to him coming across. I think that was Myers again to kind of show that same look that they had just done before. And instead, this time they give the ball to Voss up the middle, and he's able to take the ball for just a few yards. That's going to set him up for a 3rd and short here.
And Voss has to come out to get some attention on the sideline, so they have 3 receivers near side. 1 to the far side. Vaughn is in the single back in the backfield by himself, the quarterback, and he's going to drop back and take a pass and caught across the side and driven out of bounds right near midfield by Autry. They'll give him 2 midfield and across and down to about the 48-yard line. So good completion for first down yardage into Viking territory.
Yeah, that trips receiver looks again to the near side, and Autry gives him a lot of room. Jerome was playing back a ways, and on a 3rd and 3, all they do is run 2 receivers in the inside deep, and then curl Van Eaton there in the middle, or on the outside, and he's able to get the ball for the first down.
So 1st and 10, Colby in Viking territory now. 3 minutes exactly left on the clock until halftime. Hike is in the side. Here comes a pass out into the flat to Myers. He's wrapped up quickly by Blanchard. It's going to be a gain of about 3 on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 7. Good reaction by the Viking D.
Yeah, it really was. And they threw that to the near side here, which was the short side of the field, allowed the Viking defense a little more opportunity to close on that play and make a play. But again, we're able to pick up about 3 yards. They've been pretty consistent with their yardage, and when they've been able to not have plays that move them backwards, they've been pretty effective with their offense so far tonight.
Voss back in after getting a little tape put on his knee. Man in motion to the near side, but trips to the near side. Voss is going to try to run now, cuts it back up the middle and gets a little bit of yardage up to about the 41-yard line where it's going to be 3rd and 3. So they're just picking up 3 to 4 yards every play, and the Vikings just giving up more than they are used to.
Yeah, really impressed by the running of Tyler Voss. You know, they don't have their weights and heights here, but he's a good athletic-looking back for him, but he runs so solid through the middle. Even the arm tackles of the Vikings not able to get to him. But again, the Eagle offense is blocking pretty well, too.
Dropping back to pass is Vaughn. Good coverage by the Vikings. He's in trouble in the backfield. He's going to throw it over on the flat. Caught. First down yardage taken down by Nolan Dower, but not before they get first down yardage. The Vikings had the near side covered well, but he went back to the weak side, and he was just playing off of him. Well, it wasn't bad defense, but it allowed him to complete the pass.
No, it wasn't bad defense at all. When you're rolling one direction, you've really got to kind of shorten that field, just like Nolan Dower did. But then he reversed the field, went back, and his receiver just stopped and set in a position. Dower got there quickly to take him down, but not before the first down.
3 receivers near side. Vaughn dropping back to pass. Now he throws it to Voss out in the flat. Caught across the 25 down to near the 20-yard line goes Voss. They're just hooking up and looking like world beaters right now.
They are moving the ball so effectively. And again, when you get the ball into Voss's hands, he's just had a phenomenal night so far for them. The Vikings have had a tough time stopping him. And now we're going to get a timeout on the field by Colby with 1:18 left to play.
We'll keep this one right here. We got a lot to talk about at halftime, and we got tennis to talk about. We got volleyball to talk about. We got cross country to talk about. We got lots of things going on in Smoky Valley territory, and like we've said before, just a great year to be a Viking sports-wise so far in 2021.
Yeah, it's been a blast to be a teacher in the district and the coach in the district and see what our kids have been capable of doing so far this year, whether it's on the football field, the tennis courts, in volleyball. It doesn't matter what we've done, cross country, so much success, so much excitement around all of our programs here this fall, and it's just been really great to see those kids getting involved and the coaches getting after it. And we definitely want to talk tonight. Of course, we said Coach Lambert not in attendance tonight. Let's take a shout out to these assistant coaches this week who've put together the game plan, gotten things going. Chris McClure, Alan Meyer, James Henderson, Ben Elliott, and Michael Ryan, all these guys kind of rallying the troops here and having to play against, a group of Colby kids. I don't think we looked past them. I think we knew that they had some weapons, and I think they're showing that right now. I think we've come out, tried to establish ourselves, but Colby's built a little bit of confidence throughout this game, and they're using that to their advantage at this point.
Right now, it is their advantage. We'll see how it plays out. With 1:18 left to go, I think that was Colby's first timeout, so they have 2 timeouts left, I believe. Yeah, they have 2 timeouts. Vikings have all 3 of theirs. 3 receivers, including Voss to the far side, Betts to the near side. Now he's in motion to the near side. He's going to get the ball, try to get outside. Pickering has a chance. He didn't get him, and then he is wrapped up by Stanbaugh and Nolan Dower, but not before he picks up about 4 yards on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 6.
I tell you what, if you've got, at least I think, one of their best players, Voss, if he's not running the ball, that time he was blocking Haven Lysell on the edge to keep the Vikings' best tackler from getting in on the play.
2 receivers far side. Vaughn's rolling out in the flat, still rolling, going to go down the field and caught, and out of bounds is number 23 on the play. That is Van Eaton, and they're going to have it 1st and goal.
Yeah, 1st and goal from about the 5. And again, a nice little hitch play as he rolls to the open side of the field here, the near side, and he right in front of Jerome Autry again. Of course, Jerome sitting out last week, back into action this week, but they are doing a nice job of reversing up the run plays and the pass plays here. And with 47 seconds left, they're knocking on the door.
Voss is going to keep it himself and try it up the middle. He's got some momentum, and he's going to get down just inside the 1-yard line. So they're not going to give him the touchdown with 39.7 seconds to go. They'll call another timeout, but the Vikings are certainly going to have some tough to do now. The ball looks like it's just inches away from the goal line.
Yeah, if you're watching on live.smokyvalley.org, I think that was a really good call. It looks like Austin Sharp gets him right as he nears the goal line. He does not cross until after that elbow touches the ground. So a great job by Sharp getting him. But interesting how in their goal line offense, they bring Voss out on the field and let him run the quarterback position. They went for 2 a little bit earlier, and we'll be interesting if they score here to go again. But Carson Van Eaton also kicks extra points for them. He's 7 for 8 on the season so far, kicking the extra point. But if you're thinking that the Vikings are going to go for 2 every time they score, you may want to try to get that advantage here and get yourself that 8-point lead instead of the 7-point lead here. That is if they score. The Vikings, again, got to try to stiffen here in the middle and not allow them to get across that goal line.
Voss has kind of come back out again in that wildcat formation. There's sure a lot of teams that like that. So Voss and has, I think it's Betts beside him in the backfield. So 2nd down and goal with 39 seconds left to go. This is going to be an 80-yard drive if they complete it. Voss is going to take the handoff and get 10. He's going to make it. No, he's not going to make it again. He's short.
Well, I can't tell. One official looked like he said he was across. One said he wasn't. Not sure what the call's going to be here. He did call it for a split second on the far side of the field, so.
What is the man in the white hat going to say? And he's going to come running over here to the sideline to see if we can maybe get something up to the front. They're going to come to the Colby sideline and tell him he didn't make it. Maybe he did signal, but he wasn't there, so it's going to be 3rd and goal now. Somebody stopped the clock. I guess it's the officials that stopped the clock right here. So 3rd and goal now. So 3rd and goal. Wind the clock, says the man in the white hat. Again, it's a wildcat formation for Voss and company. They're going to take it right up the middle again, and this time clearly in for the touchdown, Colby, and they take a 14-8 lead with 25 seconds left.
Yeah, nice job there by Voss. Again, they continue to go with that wildcat look, continue to push the ball up the field there, and again, it takes them 3 downs from the 5 to get the play in, but they do eventually get it in. It was close whether or not Voss made it in on 2nd down or not, but he does make it in here on 3rd down. Like we said before, going up 14-8, it looks like they are going to continue to try to go for 2 here and maybe continue to put the pressure on Smoky Valley to get their 2-point conversions if and when they do score.
Wildcat formation again for Voss. He's going to take it in, try the right side, and he's got more room than he needed, and he gets a 2-point conversion. So our score with 25.2 seconds left to go in the first half. Colby breaks on top 16-8 back after this 30-second timeout. And welcome back to Colby, Kansas. Don Binks along with Doug Snyder as the Vikings give up an 80-yard drive. We'll see how many plays it was here in a second from Dalton.
13 plays, 80 yards, of course, wrapping up there with the 1-yard Voss TD run. And I tell you, Colby's had a great first half, 263 yards of total offense against the Vikings, only 122. They've run the ball, or they've played 38 offensive plays so far. I think the most telling stat right now is, they've had the ball almost 11 minutes here this first half. They've really been effective. They've handled possessions, and even though the Vikings got the first score, now they've given up 16 straight points in that second quarter.
The good thing is the Vikings will get the ball to start the third quarter, so we'll see what happens. But back to kick it is Van Eaton. It's a short end-over-end kick taken by House right at the 35-yard line, 40, and driven down there about the 41-yard line. That's where the Vikings will take over with 21.3 seconds left to go until halftime. See if the Vikings will air it out some or if they'll just be content to run a play or two. Of course, they can air it out quick with Mr. Autry. He can take it to the house in a hurry, but we'll see what they decide to do right here before halftime.
Well, we've seen a couple of different looks. The last couple of weeks we've seen that little Statue of Liberty look they like to run once in a while where they move everything in one direction, roll peel out, and then wrap that ball back around to Justice. But they've also been able to get the ball off the field a little bit on the out pattern somewhat. Haven't seen Lysell catch a ball yet today, so we could easily see. He caught one pass, got the one little flat pass early, but haven't seen him involved in the offense. But they are going to go trips left here.
3 receivers to the left for the Vikings. Peels in shotgun formation. He's going to roll to the left, still rolling. He's going to throw it downfield to Blanchett, who catches the ball and goes out of bounds at the 42-yard line, so a pickup of about 18 or 19 yards. And 15 seconds still. Vikings have all 3 of their timeouts, but with the way the plays work, you only got really 2 plays left.
Yeah, they could continue to kind of dink and dunk just a little bit here, but they're going to have to get about 15 to 20 per play here to be able to get what they need to. Might be able to squeeze 3 in here, but again, they do have all their timeouts left as well.
Shotgun formation again for Carson. He's going to roll near side this time. Looking down the field, going to take it in the flat to Autry, who catches the ball. First down yardage at the 30. That's 7.1 seconds left to go now, so the Vikings certainly taking up chunks of real estate here in this quick drive.
I think you're going to see Smoky Valley take their first time out of the half here. So they are knocking out chunks of offense, a couple of really nice rollout plays, giving Carson Peel an opportunity to make the pass plays. And the first one, a nice catch over there along the sideline by Cade Blanchett. This one bobbled a little bit by Justice Autry, but he was able to pull it in. And like you said, the Vikings right now are sitting at 30 yards away from the end zone. Only 7.1 seconds, though.
I don't know if you take a chance on trying to get a quick out pass and get, maybe another 10 yards. Carson looks like he's got a strong enough arm to throw it downfield. whether you try a Hail Mary here at the end and try to get something in the end zone. We'll see what they decide to do with 7.1 seconds. If you go that deep, obviously it'll take all 7 seconds to make that work.
And I think one of the things, they know they have to knock out some chunks of yardage, so to do that, you almost always have to send Peel in a rollout to be able to do that, and that takes a little bit extra time. And, not that I'm saying they're not doing a good job, but
no, they are.
The clicker here is a little slow on getting the clock turned off once in a while, too.
Maybe.
So, again, you just kind of got to understand that might happen, and some of that may be how fast the officials are calling timeout as well.
So Vikings have it 1st and 10, ball right at the 30-yard line. Blanchard will come out wide to the near side. Autry and Abel go out wide to the far side.
Don't watch for Lysell Stewart here slipping right up the middle as well.
Carson dropping back right down the middle. Now we got a stoppage of play, and we got motion on the Vikings. So 5.9 left now. So a little bit of time does go off the clock. I don't know if they're going to make him put that time back on the clock. So they're going to ask him to put, they already did. So they put 7.1 back on the clock. So the Vikings have it now at the 35-yard line. Blanchett near side, Abel and Autry to the far side. Blocking back in the backfield with Peel is Stambaugh. Pressure coming, going down the field to the middle to Lysell, and it falls incomplete. There is still 1.6 seconds left to go. So some pressure coming up the middle. Stambaugh was there to block, but he didn't know who to block because he had 3 guys coming at him. So he did the right thing and just kind of helped it a little bit so Carson could have some chance to throw it down the middle to Haven Lysell Stewart.
Yeah, I think Carson's definitely got the arm to be able to send it into the end zone, but the problem is, does he have the time to be able to send it to the end zone? And I think that time he had a lot of pressure in his face, had to throw off his back foot just a little bit. I only got the ball to about the 10, so even if Lysell would have made the catch, I don't think he takes it in. He'd have had to make about 2 or 3 tackles there to make it in. So now we're looking at 1.6. This should be, barring a penalty, the last play of the half, so he's going to have to go end zone with this one.
Lysell on the outside, Pickering and Blanchard to the far side are going to hand it off to Autry, or toss it to Autry to try to get outside. He's got a little bit of room, but he gets wrapped up quickly, and that will be the final play of the half. Halftime is here, and the Vikings trail 16-8. We'll be back to wrap this first half up for you after this 3-minute timeout. You're listening to Smoky Valley Football. And welcome back to Colby, Kansas. This is the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic halftime show, working with athletes of every level to help prevent injuries, enhance performance, or to heal through surgery and rehabilitation. At the school, on the field, or in their clinic, we're ready wherever and whenever you need to help you get back in the game. The home field advantage starts at the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic. The Vikings and Colby. Colby leading 16-8 here at halftime. They won the toss and took the ball to open the game up. They were driving and got down inside the 20-yard line and fumbled at the 12-yard line. The Vikings took over there and drove across midfield, but decided they better punt the ball, pin Colby back, and they did. But that's when the Vikings. No, let's see. I got that wrong. We had the ball. Well, anyway, the Vikings are first to score after stopping Colby on that drive. Then we got together and we scored on a 6-play, 77-yard drive at the 8:41 mark. A pass from Carson Peel to Blanchett, 40-yard touchdown pass. The point after, also a pass to Abel, and the Vikings took an 8-0 lead. But that must have upset the Colby Eagles, because they turned right around and came back on a 6-play, 69-yard drive. This play ended with a 43-yard drive Voss run. He was held at the line of scrimmage for a moment by Haven Lysell Stewart, but he broke out of that tackle and dashed into the end zone. They went for two at the 6:42 mark and tied it up. The Vikings then went 3 and out, and then Colby put together an impressive 80-yard drive, 13 plays, and scored with just 25 seconds left to go by Voss. He also ran the extra point to make it 16-0. And that's how the half ended, with Colby at the lead. But it was an impressive really an impressive half of football by the Colby Eagles.
Yeah, I thought they did a nice job. They doubled up the Vikings on plays. They ran 38 plays in that first half to just 19 for Smoky Valley, and controlled the ball for nearly 15 minutes of that first half. So they definitely played that half exactly the way they would have wanted to do it. You know, they haven't scored in the entire first quarter this season, but their second quarter has been solid. They had 21 points coming into this game in the second quarter. Now they just added another 16 points to that here tonight to take the lead in at the half. Our stats for the first half: Colby, great start, 263 yards of total offense, 64 of that coming through the air. Their quarterback, Hunter Vaughn, was 10 for 11 in the first half for 64 yards. Not always deep, but he's been on target every single time. Leading the way for him receiving-wise, Carson Van Eaton had 4 grabs for 29 yards. Tyler Voss had 2 for 19. Bryce Myers had 3 for 17. But the ground attack has been where they've been the best. 199 yards on 27 carries, averaging nearly 7.5 yards a carry. Tyler Voss has been the man. Not only does he have 2 grabs for 19 yards, he also has 18 carries for 145 yards and both touchdowns, as well as one of the 2-point conversions. He's done an excellent job for them. Also running, Zane Betts, 7 carries for 55 yards. Bryce Myers, 1 carry for 3 yards. Like I said, time of possession has been their way. They've had it for nearly 15 minutes of the first half, just continuing to chop away at the Vikings. One of their strengths tonight, they do have 15 first downs. They are 5 for 8 on third down conversions and 2 for 2 on fourth down conversions. Leading the way for their tackling tonight, Shane Puckett with 3. Tyler Voss 2.5, Ian Rosales was 2, Connor Lanning with 2, and a number of Colby Eagles, each with at least 1 tackle. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, 156 yards of total offense, as we said, on only 19 plays, but they are averaging 8.2 yards per play. They end the half with 70 yards passing on 4 for 5 from Carson Peel. He has 1 touchdown as well. Of course, that long pass to Cade Blanchett for the score, and then picking up a few of those yards right before the end of the half. His leading receiver, like I said, Cade Blanchett, 4 grabs tonight. Cade Blanchett with 2 grabs tonight for 57 yards. Justice Autry, 1 for 12. And the guy they haven't really gotten involved yet, they tried to hit him deep before the half. That's Haven Lysell Stewart. He has 1 grab for 1 yard. Running-wise, not quite up to Viking standards, 86 yards on 14 carries here in the first half. I tell you, it's really just been the fact we haven't had the ball that much.
Yeah.
We've still run for 6.1 yards a carry. Leading the way tonight is Blanchett. He's got 4 carries for 44 yards to go along with his 57 yards receiving. Justice Autry, 7 for 34. Tristan Stambaugh, 3 carries for 8 yards. As I said, the Vikings had the ball for a little over 8 minutes there in the first half. They do have 6 first downs. They are 2 for 4 on third down conversions. They have not attempted a fourth down play. Leading tacklers tonight for the Vikings in the first half, Cade Blanchett, again continuing his solid night, 5.5 tackles. Haven Lysell Stewart again also with 5.5. Austin Sharp, 5.5. Jerome Autry with 4. Nolan Dower with 3.5. Tristan Stambaugh with 3.5. Cody Kraus 3. Ethan Abel 2.5. Max Beaker 2. Justin Holt 1. Vincent Pickering and Gus Griffith each with a half. Do want to point out Tristan Stambaugh, 2 punts in that first half. He averaged 43.5 yards a punt, so a nice job by him there.
No question about that. Time now to look at our impact performance of the first half presented by Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic. I'd like to nominate Cade Blanchett with the defense he's been playing, plus the reception on the touchdown, breaking those tackles. He would be as good a candidate as any for impact performance of the first half.
Yeah, I think Carson Peel threw the ball well, especially in that latter stage of the first half when they let him go a little bit. But I think when you're looking at Cade Blanchett being the best running back so far in the first half, averaging 11 yards per carry, and then you throw in the 57 yards receiving for 28.5 yards per catch, and you sprinkle in 5.5 tackles for those solo, I think you've got to give Cade Blanchett the impact player of the first half.
Time now for a Salina Surgical scoreboard update. Choose Salina Surgical Hospital for your outpatient procedures or inpatient stays. Salina Surgical is proud to be partially physician-owned, so we got a lot of scores to catch up with. At the half, Minneapolis 8, Norton 7. At the half, El Saline, Plainville up 22-0. Abilene and Christian Prep is 0-0. Salina Central 21, Valley Center 3. That was the first quarter score. We don't have halftime from those yet, so we'll have to go. You got some other our school scores.
Yeah, just a couple from around the league. I tell you, Marion's up 12-6 on Haven, and I think a surprise, Heston leading the number 2 team in 3A tonight. Wichita Collegiate 14-10. That game's still in the first half.
No question about that. Lions is at Hutch Trinity, Nickerson at Holcomb, Heston at Collegiate, you mentioned, Hillsborough at Sterling, Larned at Pratt, Phillipsburg at Hoisington, and Halstead at Andale. That's where my boys Brad and Brian are refereeing tonight down at Halstead, and Andale is always so good, that game at Andale. So a lot of scores going on, and do you have something else?
Well, what do you want to talk about first? We want to talk about Viking athletics tonight yet, too.
I want to take a quick 30-second timeout. Jared, let's take a 30-second timeout. We'll come back with some updates on other sports in Smoky Valley athletics. You'll be back after this 30-second timeout. An update, Derby 42, Salina South 0, and that's just the end of the first quarter, so it's a lot of scoring going on. I don't know if that game is at Salina South, but Derby obviously the number 1 team in Class 6A, and they're all over Salina South. What do you got for Viking sports?
Just a few things. Let's get started first of all with tennis. Coach Warbitten, of course, letting us know how they're doing. The Varsity won their 4th tournament of the season this week at Heston. They've won 4 out of the 7 tournaments they've been a part of and had 2 runner-up finishes so far. On September 18th, they did the Smoky Valley meet, Logan Spencer, number 1 singles, she took 5th. Kayla Norberg took 4th at number 2 singles. Riley Allstat and Lena Rockholtz took 1st in 1 dubs. And Campbell Gaskell and Carrie Adam also took first place in number 2 dubs. They took 2nd as a team. Moving on to Heston, Logan Spencer, again 5th in 1 singles. Kayla Norberg, again 4th in 1 doubles, or in 2 singles. 1 doubles, Riley Allstat and Lena Rockholtz took 3rd. And in 2 doubles, Campbell Gaskell and Carrie Adam took 1st. And they won 1st at that Heston one. Salina Central JV results on the 21st. Lily Helene, she took 3rd in number 1 singles. Madeline Mock took 2nd in number 2 singles. Mackenzie Holcomb and Camilla Wright took 1st in number 1 doubles. And Jamie Bean and Ella Stambaugh Tubbs took 4th in number 2 doubles. That JV group took 2nd at Salina Central. And then also in JV, another one at Smoky Valley on the 23rd. I think that would have just been yesterday. Mackenzie Holcomb took 1st in number 1 singles. Camilla Wright 1st, number 2 singles. Lily Helene and Kelsey Adam 4th in number 1 doubles. Jill Hett and Madeline Mock 2nd in number 2 doubles. They also had a couple of other individuals place as well. Pratt took 6th as well, and Ella Stambaugh Tubbs and Jamie Bean took 5th. So that are his tennis results for the week. We also, of course, had another event at Southeast of Saline for our cross-country kids. We'll just cover the varsity players here for now. Sebastian Pavlovich took 62nd. Braden Iyer 52nd, Britton Becker 23rd, Samuel Peterson 22nd, Justice Gardner in 20th, Garrett Huffman took 16th, and Titus Reed took 9th. The boys finished 3rd as a team behind Wichita Trinity and Southeast of Saline. The girls also finished 3rd behind Wichita Trinity, who was 2nd, Southeast of Saline, who was 1st. And on the girls' side, Olivia Bankston, 51st, Adrian Lockard, 49th, Kenzie Helene, 39th, Lydia Peterson, 37th, Sophia Fruits, 18th, Kira Mullen, 8th, and Gracie Lambert took 1st. So in the state, but had another tough week of volleyball. They opened up at Clay Center against ranked at Hoisington against ranked Clay Center. That was the first match of the night, and unfortunately the varsity was defeated by Clay Center 26-24 and 25-17, and then they went on to defeat Hoisington 25-22, 25-21. That moves them to 19-3 on the season. So again, they continue to play well. They've got at Larned next week, if I'm not mistaken, on Tuesday, and so again, they're going to hopefully hit the ground running again, and hopefully hit that October stretch and really get after it again.
And we'll have that October home match
October 4th,
for you.
I think, right.
Yeah,
October 4th.
It's either Monday or Tuesday, but I think it is the 4th. We'll have that for you on the internet at live.smokyvalley.org. We appreciate Mike Rose getting set up for all that stuff, and congratulations to all 3 coaches, Jay Myers, Vince Worthington, and Charlene Ramsey, doing a great job.
We've got 111 devices joining us tonight here on the live stream as well, so we appreciate all of you back home or wherever you're watching us tonight joining us. And again, we're certainly hoping for a strong second half here from the Vikings.
And we're certainly hoping for a strong recovery for Coach Lambert. If you're listening, we're certainly passing the word to say some prayers for you to you get healed up and back on action. But that'll wrap up our halftime. We'll take a 1-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll have final thoughts and kickoff of the second half. Again, Vikings trailing 16-8. Back after this 1-minute timeout. hosting Goodland, and then back home again the following week hosting Scott City. So back-to-back home games. Of the second week is the weekend of Hillings Fest, so we certainly know all that will be exciting for sure. And welcome back to Colby High School. Colby will kick off the start, but the Spence Hillings Fest, October 8th and 9th. They actually have a church service on Thursday night, the 7th. The celebration of Lynchburg Swedish heritage. The smorgasbord is going to be located at the J.O. Sundstrom Conference Center, downtown Lynchburg. There will be Friday night, 2 settings, and Saturday as well. So get your tickets at Hillings, Smoky Valley HillingsFest.org. Vikings ready. Vikings will be defending the east end of the field. Colby will be kicking from the west end. Back deep for the Vikings is Autry, Justice, and Jerome. See where the kick goes. The man in the white hat has blown his whistle. It's a short kick, so they're also knowing how good the Autry guys can do back there, and they're going to kick it short, and House is going to cover it up about the 38-yard line. That's where the Vikings will start with good field position.
Yeah, they've had no desire to kick back to the Twins back there. They don't even want to give them that ball, and they've done a nice job. I tell you, they've given up a little bit of field position, but they've put the ball in the mid-range guys' level there, and the Vikings have done a nice job, but they've started around the 40 on most of their possessions.
So 1st and 10 Vikings, they'll be in wishbone formation, double tight end. Hand it off to Blanchett, and they're going to get called for motion here. Somebody moved before the ball was snapped, so Vikings haven't been very many penalties, have they? I don't think we talked about penalties.
Yeah, I didn't talk a lot about penalties in the first half, but it was not a very highly penalized half by any means. I had us with 1 penalty for 5 yards, and that was that false start before the half. I had them for 2 penalties for 20 yards. I think both of those were holding penalties.
So role-play game, but the Vikings pick up their second 5-yard penalty here. So it's 1st and 15 now from about the 34-yard line. Carson under center is going to hand it off to Stambaugh, and he's going to drive across the 35 up about the 37-yard line. So he'll pick up a couple of those yards. It'll be 2nd down and 12.
Yeah, the dive play again, the same exact play we opened the first half with when we had the ball. We went right back to again, and Tristan has not finding a lot of running in there. They're really packing that middle section. I think they've got a guy directly over the ball at times, and so they're really doing a nice job of playing that area. But you said a clean half from the perspective of penalties. Only 1 turnover in the first half as well, and that was the fumble by Colby.
Big number 66, Rosales. Peels rolling out to pass, looking down the field. He's going to throw it down to Lysell. He goes up and gets it. Haven, Lysell, they're actually trying to convince the official to throw a flag, but Haven went up and got it. It's going to be a pickup of nearly 20 yards.
I'll tell you, the other thing that I was worried about is that whether or not they might call him out of bounds. Tough to see from here, but he was definitely tiptoeing that sideline. But what a catch by Haven Lysell Stewart. He had to go up and make that play and just out-jumped him.
Yeah, between a couple of defenders, so good job back to wishbone formation for the Vikings. 1st and 10 in Colby territory at the 45-yard line. Here comes Blanchett trying the left side. He's going to get contact and get a yard, maybe 2 on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 8. Colby's coming out fired up.
Yeah, and I look back on the highlight of that play there. Mr. Rose doing such a great job, but Haven gets that right foot, and you can actually see the dirt come up where he planted that foot, and he was in bounds. A great play there.
Good job, Haven. 2nd down now and 8 for the Vikings. Just underway, 3rd quarter. Vikings trail 16-8. Pickering comes in with the play from the sideline. They break the huddle and get ready to see what they can do on 2nd down and 8. Peel goes under center, double tight. No, it's I formation now with the receiver in the flanker is Blanchett. Turn and hand it off to Autry trying to get outside. He's got a little bit of room, squeezes across the 40 and down to maybe the 39 where it'll be 3rd down and 5.
I think you said it exactly there. There was only a little bit of room, and Justice was still able to kind of squirt through that left side and pick up an extra yard or so before he was finally tackled.
So 3rd down and 5 for Smoky Valley. You mentioned that the Vikings hadn't gone for it on 4th down, I don't think, in the first half. It was definitely in 4-down territory now. But it's 3rd and 5. They'll go back to wishbone formation, double tight. Just under 10 minutes left to go here, 3rd quarter. Opening drive of the 3rd quarter for Smoky Valley. Here comes Blanchett trying that left side. He's got, looks like, first down yardage. Good run by Cade down to about the 32 or 33, and they will give him first down. Great effort.
Yeah, Cade's run the ball extremely well tonight. That should put him over 50 yards on the ground as he picks up about 6 there and gets the first down. You know, we thought that the Vikings might run a 4th down play right on their very first possession of the game. It was right around the 50-yard line with about 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4, or 4th and 4, and they end up punting the ball. And then, of course, things go back and forth there for a little while, and we don't score until the 2nd quarter.
Wishbone formation again. Here comes Stambaugh driving through down to about the 30-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down, and we'll call it 7.
Another nice, hard-hitting interior run there by Stambaugh. And you made the comment earlier, 10 of these Colby Eagles play on both sides of the ball. It's time for the Viking offense to wear those guys down and continue to attack. And I think this is the drive right here where they make that happen, a chance to tie this game up here early in the 2nd half.
Zeller, Sharp, and Holt, the 3 in the middle of the Viking offensive line, are doing a good job. Here comes Blanchett trying that left side. He looks like he slipped a little bit as he was trying to cut back up the field, and he's going to get maybe a yard on the play. It's going to be 3rd down, and we'll call it 6 or long 7.
And we see a lot here to open the 2nd half of the bone set, and they're really just trying to attack there with their strength and continue going at them. Looks like they might mix that up a little bit here on 3rd and about 5. Might see them maybe spread the field a little bit more. I don't think so. They're going to come back with the bone look. Watch again for Haven Lysell Stewart slipping out of this.
3rd and we'll call it long 6 for the Vikings. And Peel is rolling out to the high boy. Stambaugh is getting held, but he catches the ball, 1st down yardage, but he fumbles. Looks like the ball's going to get called loose. I thought he fumbled it when he went down, but Stambaugh caught the yardage, good enough for the 1st down, but it comes out, and the Vikings are going to turn it over at about the 25-yard line.
Yeah, really hard to tell there on the highlight as he gets turned around, but I tell you, he was grabbed from behind almost immediately. It looks like that ball probably squirts out after the knees were on the ground, but it's one of those bang-bang calls, and they're going to give this one to Colby, picked up there by the quarterback. He's the one that ends up picking it up, and that's Vaughn, and now it's Smoky Valley that turns the ball back to Colby, deep in their territory, and now Colby has a chance to put some points on the board.
Hand it off to Voss, trying that right side. This time the Vikings are going to swarm under and you get no gain on the play. You know the Vikings will make some adjustments on that at halftime. So Coach Henderson directing that defense. He'll certainly find a way to stop it. So no gain on the play, 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, a number of Vikings in on the tackle there. I think I saw Pickering in there, Haven Lysell Stewart, possibly even Austin Sharp making that play on the left side or on the right side.
So 2nd down, they've got 9 on the scoreboard, maybe a tiny gain. 2 receivers near side, 1 to the far side. Going to hand it off again. Now we're going to have a penalty, false start on Colby. So they'll back them up 5 yards behind the sticks now. They're going to be 2nd down and 14.
Yeah, I think the wide receiver over here on the near side got a little bit of a head start on that one, and so it's going to move them back, and they've struggled a little bit when they've been behind the sticks today, so only their 3rd penalty of the game tonight, but this one could be a big one as it gives them 2nd and 14.
Vaughn calling the signals from that shotgun formation, hands it off to Voss, trying to get that outside. Sharp almost had him in the backfield, but he gets about a yard is all, so it's going to be 3rd down and 12.
Nice job by the interior part of that Viking defensive line. You've called their names a number of times tonight by Vincent Pickering, Gus Griffith, of course, Cody Kraus in for Alex Groslin tonight, and Justin Holt, as well as those backers, Stambaugh, Sharp, and Lysell Stewart. All of those guys really pinch it in tight.
Vaughn looking to come to the near side, rolls near side, looking to pass the ball downfield, still looking downfield, and it's caught. And 1st down yardage caught by number 30 on the play. That is Colin Carroll. Good defense by the Vikings, able, but just a perfect pass by Vaughn.
Yeah, they've done a nice job running their players, the receivers up the field and then turning them toward the sidelines. You know, you've got to kind of play that inside pass first. And again, Vaughn does a nice job of reversing out in the backfield, rolling to the open side of the field and hitting him. Abel hit him right as he caught the ball and knocked him out, but not before he picks up a 1st down.
But he led him perfect because Abel was just a step behind him, but he just had no chance to knock that away. 3 3 receivers to the near side of the field. Now they're going to go counter to the right side. Voss has got some running room. Haven Lysell finishes him off. Nolan Dower had him low, but it's still a pickup of about 5 or 6 on the play.
Yeah, we talked about Vaughn and his passing tonight. Vaughn, again, still only had 1 incompletion in the first half, and again, has picked up another big pass. And then, of course, they go right back to Voss and hit the middle again, as you said, by Dower and Lysell Stewart.
Quick change by the Autry in there, and they get off the field in time. Here comes a pass play in the backfield. Betts gets around the Viking tackler and still on his feet near midfield and finally driven out of bounds, but not before he picks up first down yardage right at midfield.
Yeah, it looked like, again, Haven Lysell Stewart pushed his way into the backfield. Actually looked like he might have blown up that play just a little bit by knocking Voss back into the backfield. But then Betts still gets around the outside and is able to have a nice, healthy gain and pick up yet another first down for Colby. I tell you, they've moved the chains at will at times tonight, which is surprising against this Viking defense.
6:17 to go. First possession for Colby in the second half. Vikings had to fumble the ball as they were driving and see if they can get a turnover back from the Colby Eagles. Hand off to Voss, trying that right side. He's got a little bit of room. This time he's pulled down by the belt of his pants by Sharp. Sharp just wasn't going to let go, and he drug him down from behind.
Sharp has been on a number of tackles tonight as well, and he was really able to shoot the gap that time from his left linebacker position, able to sneak in there, doesn't get touched, gets a hold of Voss, and like you said, he just didn't let go.
1 receiver to the far side, 2 to the near side. Vaughn in that shotgun formation, going to pass over here in the flat, caught. He's just completing everything he throws, a pickup of nearly first down yardage. They might have the first down. We'll see where they spot it. Looks like it's going to be just short, 3rd and 1.
You know, Vaughn came into the night hitting 29 of 55 for 341 yards, and he's just having a heck of a night right now. Like I said, I think he's about 13 of 14 at this point in time. I don't know if we have the official update, but he was 10 of 11 at the half and has already had a couple of completions now. I think he's 12 of 13 for 85 yards.
Man in motion is Betts to the far side. Now he turns around and comes back to the near side. Going to counter with Voss to that right side, and he's going to get the first down yardage. Nolan Dower had him low right at the line of scrimmage, but got a blow from behind by Sharp that time and pushed him over the first down yardage to the 39. So first down again, move the sticks for Colby. They're driving here, under 5 minutes left, third quarter.
Their offense has just been so effective tonight. Again, they've just really taken a lot of time off this clock. I said when we opened this half, this first drive for Smoky Valley was important, and we turned the ball over, and now Colby has a chance to really have a big drive.
Comes Voss again right up the middle. He's going to get taken down after about a couple-yard play. Good job by Lysell Stewart and Stambaugh and Cody Kraus on the tackle. All 3 of them combined to bring Voss down.
I tell you, the Smoky Valley backers now are really starting to become a major factor in that run game. You can tell that the coaching staff of the Vikings have really unleashed this set of linebackers and let them kind of make plays.
This time the quarterback, Vaughn's going to keep it and pitch. Ball's on the ground, and Betts covers it up, but they're going to lose yardage back to near the 40-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down and long.
Probably pretty fortunate there.
Yeah.
I mean, Betts had a pretty good opportunity. Ethan Abel was coming up from his safety position back there, but it would have been him one-on-one with Betts. You figure he's probably going to pick up at least 2 or 3 the way he had the angle there, and maybe more if Ethan didn't make the tackle.
Yeah, Vaughn probably wishes he would have kept that after a kind of a behind the Betts pitch and resulted in a fumble, but they get the ball back. 3 receivers far side. Now Betts in motion to the far side. They're going to hand it off, trying to get outside on that far side. They're stringing it out to Viking, but he whips through and gets through the initial line of Viking tacklers and gets first down yardage going out of bounds. What a great run by Betts.
I tell you, there were 3 Viking defenders right there. Pickering's there, Abel's there, and we had another guy on the outside there. It looked like Nolan Dower got at least one good block, and he just slithered right through there and picks up the first down.
Yeah, amazing run, because it looked like we had that stop for, maybe a 3 or 4 yard game, but it wasn't going to be a first down yardage, but he just takes it. They like that play. It's kind of student body left or right, and that time it was to the right, and it was for first down yardage. They're driving at the 3:30 mark. Handoff, Voss right up the middle. He's got room. He's got near first down yardage. Still on his feet at the 20, and then driven back, so he won't get first down yardage, but he's going to get about 9 on the play. He just runs, like you said, straight up and down, and he's a power runner.
Yeah, but that jet sweep look that they've hit so many times tonight, they faked that this time, really made the backers of the Vikings bite on this near side, and that opened up the middle for Voss. So, when your offense is clicking, when you're doing the things you want to do, and you have enough weapons like Colby has, really difficult to key on one guy.
Man in motion to the near side is Betts. Vaughn takes it, going to hand off to Voss again, right up the middle. He's got room, and he's going to get first down yardage inside the 15. So first down first down Colby inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. Timeout on the field for something. We'll see what we got a timeout for. Maybe just for first down yardage.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. It was kind of an iffy play there. I know he was explaining a play to the Colby bench here, but there was some question whether or not maybe Austin Sharp had gotten him on a horse collar there, grabbed him up high, but they said that he hadn't. But I do think they want to reset the clock here just a little bit. 2:41 looks like that they move it up to, so they're going to add 5 seconds onto that clock, and so we're ready to go again here on the field.
Vaughn in that shotgun formation with Voss beside him in the backfield. Going to turn and pass it quick in the flat. Good. And down near the 5-yard line inside the 4. Goes between Autry and Abel, number 2 and number 20. And it's going to be second down and 9 for Colby at the 5-yard line.
That does put Colby into the Becker Autos and Trailers red zone with campers, used vehicles, and more. They have you covered. Visit them in Beloit on Highway 24 or on BeckerAutos.com.
Don't forget the scoreboard show tonight on from 10 to 11 on Sports Radio 1150 KSAO. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Voss now in that Wildcat formation. Going to take it himself, try to get the Vikings to jump. They didn't. Long play count. And Voss still now checking his play, what he wants to run. Snap to him. He's going to, the ball's loose on the ground, and the Vikings might have it. Vikings say they have it. We'll see what, oh my gosh, they were going to hand it off. It is not. They get the ball on the fumble. Colby gets it back, so it's going to loss of about 3 on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and 3 now for Colby, but Vikings had a chance. That's 2 fumbles on this play, and they've recovered both of them.
I tell you, the favorite guy in the house right now is Colin Carroll, because he was the one that fell on that. If you're a Colby Eagle, he made that play.
Voss is going to keep it himself, try the right side. He's going to get taken for about a yard gain on the play. He's at the 6-yard line, where it's going to be 4th and 3.
That fumble's huge, because you figure they maybe pick up 1 or 2 yards on that play, and instead they get nothing, and now you're looking at 4th down. They have kicked some extra points this year. You might maybe think that they could bring a kicker out here and maybe put 3 on the board, but they're going to wait. I think they might even wait long enough here to take time off the clock and maybe call a timeout and talk about what exactly they want to run here.
Under a minute left. They go break it back toward the line of scrimmage. They got 3 to get the first down, 6 to get the touchdown. Voss is in that Wildcat formation. They're trying to get the Vikings to jump. They don't. Now the Colby coach calls timeout. We'll keep this one right here. Again, thanking the sponsors that help us with our portion of the broadcast, which include Harry Malary, Farm Bureau, White's Food Liner, Lindsberg Realty, Liz Nahodny, Owner Broker, Pizza Hut, Dr. Dale Loader, Smoky Valley Chiropractic, Mari Loader, Caldwell Banker Real Estate, call Mari, call it sold, Old Stuga, CNL Heating and Cooling, Dower Welding and Machine, Bank of Tescott, Crick Christian's Funeral Home, First Bank Kansas, Art Shirt, Salina Ortho, People's Bank and Trust, Arn Reinert, CPA, Midway Motors, Farmer State Bank, Gallant Tire and Auto, Smoky Valley Booster Club, and Lindsberg Family Dental Care. Vikings now with a big, huge down here. Bend but don't break. I've talked about that several times, and that's what they've been all year long, and especially these last 2 games, Haven and then Hillsborough. They kept them out of the end zone when it was down near the goal line.
Coach Henderson came and talked to us last week in the post game and said he thought last week was a big game because he felt like this team earned that victory. That a couple things might have bounced their way in the previous 2 games, but now they have this chance to earn this because you've got a nice drive by Colby. They've used a majority of this quarter as they've gone down the field. Only 33 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, and now you've got them set up on a 4th and about 3 from the 6-yard line, 7-yard line, and now your defense has a chance to get this stop, give your offense the ball back with a chance to go tie the game.
And now the quarterback comes in, so Vaughn comes back into their normal formation here. So it's 4th down and 3. Vaughn in with Voss beside him. One receiver each way. Now man in motion to the near side. A quick hike. Voss is going to take it. He's going to get first down yardage. So he'll get a first down, but not a touchdown. And it's going to be 1st and goal at the 2.
I tell you, if you didn't think Voss was getting that ball, then you haven't watched this game. But they did a nice job opening an avenue on the left-hand side for him. Betts even comes through and makes a hole as well. And that does give him first down here at the 2-yard line with a chance to really take control of this game as we head to the 4th quarter here in just a few seconds.
They might snap it beforehand. Vaughn is in the backfield by himself. 1st and goal. Betts in motion. Going to hand it off to Betts. He's trying to get loose and does. Touchdown. Betts gets it in from the 1-yard line. And Colby, with 3.9 seconds left to go, takes a 22-8 lead.
Yeah, that was a heck of a drive by Colby. I tell you, Betts is still down there in the end zone as they're going to attend to him. Not sure, part of that was on that stretch as he tried to get across the goal line there. But that was a strong drive from a team that's played with a lot of confidence tonight. But it all started with an iffy turnover there at the beginning of this because it looked like Stanbaugh might have had his knee down on that play when they called the turnover. But either way you look at it, Vikings had a couple of opportunities in that drive to potentially turn them back away and get them shut down. Just weren't able to do it.
Don't miss the Wheat State Scoreboard Show tonight from 10 to 11 on Sports Radio 1150 KSAL. Get a recap of this game, scores from the area, and other wraps from various broadcasters across the Sunflower State. That's the Wheat State Scoreboard Show tonight from 10 to 11 on Sports Radio 1150 KSAL. Well, Betts is going to walk off on his own power, so he'll have to come off the field, which he does. But thank goodness he's not hurt seriously. But now Colby has a chance to get their 3rd 2-point conversion. It looks like they'll go for, and they'll see if they can make their lead 24-8. Vikings haven't given up. They gave up 20 the first week, didn't they? No, they gave just 12 the first week. They won 20-12. So they've only given up 12, 8, and 8. So this is the most points they've given up all year.
Yeah, this was an 8-minute, 11-second drive on behalf of Colby here as they come down and take this 22-8 score. And it looks like they are going to continue to go for 2 here.
Voss is in that Wildcat formation again. Going to fake the handoff and keep it himself, and he's going to try to get in and does. A 2-point conversion is good. And our score with 3.9 seconds left to go, 3rd quarter. Colby goes ahead 24-8. We'll be back with the kickoff after this 30-second timeout. Don Binks along with Doug Snyder. Got Jared Bass working the controls for us, doing a great job as always. Got Mike Rose doing a great job. Got Dalton Estep doing stats again for us tonight. And Jason Juilliard helping him, so he'll learn to take it over for next week. So appreciate all those stats. It really adds to the broadcast to have updated stats as we go. Viking deep now to see if they kick it deep or not.
Yeah, 17 plays, 69 yards. So a great drive by Colby to get their first drive of the second half.
After he fumbles it just a little bit, he'll hand it off to his brother. He's got a little seam on that right side. He's got some room. He's streaking down the sideline. He'll get driven out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way down to the 35 or 33-yard line. And that's where the Vikings will take over 1st and 10, and we will take for the 4th quarter. Our score after 3 quarters. Colby 24, Smoky Valley 8. Back for quarter number 4 after this 30-second timeout. Thankful to have Jerome Autry back in the lineup tonight. He had that handoff from his brother on the short side of the field. You wouldn't have thought they would have done that, but boy, he must have tight-roped that sideline for a 41-yard kickoff return by Jerome. So the Vikings have it now short field, which is what they need. They need to score quickly here.
Yeah, and Jerome's got a ton of speed, so when he takes that handoff full speed, I mean, he was already up to warp speed going down that sideline, and if it wasn't for a nice tackle over there by number 30, Colin Carroll, he probably takes that one all the way home.
So great effort by Colby to keep that from being a touchdown, but the Vikings will come out now in their normal wishbone formation with Justice Autry, Blanchett, and Stambaugh behind Carson Peel. Carson fumbles the snap, and he's going to pick it up and try to get something out of it, but this ball got away from him. No gain on the play, 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, that exchange just never quite happened. I think Carson's trying to get out of there in a hurry. Luckily, he was able to pick up that ball still. You're right, doesn't really get anywhere. As a matter of fact, probably loses about, maybe a half a yard on the play at most. But again, it's going to set the Vikings up with a 2nd and long here. 2nd
and 10, Smoky Valley in Colby territory. We're in the 4th quarter with 11 and a half minutes to go, and the Vikings trailing 24-8. Peel turns and he's going to roll out. He's under extreme pressure. He's going to throw it in the flat, and Voss almost picks it away from Blanchett. It's going to fall incomplete, but Carson was running for his life back there, pressured by the defensive line of Colby.
Yeah, number 66 that time, that was Ian Rosales. He got through that middle section quickly, and I tell you, Carson was backtracking the entire way, had to throw that ball off his back foot, and Voss almost added to his remarkable night by adding in an interception on the play as well. But luckily the Vikings will get it back still here, 3rd and long.
3rd and 10 now. After having the momentum from that good kickoff return, they go I formation. Carson rolling out. They're going to do that Statue of Liberty play. Autry's got some running room. He's at the 20, trying to cut it back inside and taken out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Great effort on that play by Peel and Autry.
Yeah, we knew we'd see it at some point in time tonight, and Justice does run a nice play here, taking the ball all the way from the line of scrimmage at the 34-yard line down to the 20-yard line, so a 14-yard gain, 15-yard gain. They were able to move the ball effectively there on 3rd and long, and that sets them up now in the Becker Autos and Trailers red zone. With campers, used vehicles, and more, they have you covered. Visit them in Beloit on Highway 24 or on BeckerAutos.com.
We'll give him a 19-yard carry on that one. Peel now rolling out, now dropping back and a throw in the flat to Haven. He's got him loose at the 5, and touchdown. Haven Lysell from Carson Peel. The Vikings score quickly what they needed to do, a 15-yard touchdown at the 11:03 mark.
Yeah, 4 plays, 34 yards on that drive as they took over at the 34-yard line and were able to go 3 plays there before they picked up their 1st down. And then you get Haven Lysell Stewart matched up on a linebacker over there on that out pattern. It's a tough play to guard, and exactly what they had to do, score quick. They do that under a minute. They're able to put the ball in the end zone here.
So now they go for the 2-point conversion, which is extremely important now that Colby made all 3 of their 2-point conversions. It's going to be wishbone formation for Smoky Valley. Carson under center, going to roll to the near side. He's going to hand it off to Blanchett. He's going to try to push and get through. No good. He's going to be stopped just short. So our score with 11:03 left to go. Vikings trail 24-14. Back with the ensuing kickoff after this 30-second timeout. The Vikings did what they did. This is Don Bingston along with Doug Snyder as the Vikings get back from giving up that opening 3rd quarter drive to Colby, which took most of the 3rd quarter. They get a quick score, but they do not get the point after, so they're down by 10 now with 11:03 left to go. So going to have to get some help now from their defense to get the ball back. See what happens here as they get ready to kick the ball off. Trevor Jones will be doing the honors for Smoky Valley.
I haven't seen a lot of onside kicks this year. I don't know if now's the time you want to try something like that, but it's certainly something in your repertoire. But again, I think your defense has been solid this year. We've struggled tonight a little bit, but we're probably going to have to get, well, we're definitely going to have to get 2 more scores here in this fourth quarter.
Deep kick coming down in the hands of number 15 on the side, trying to go to the far side, got a little bit of room, gets across the 35-40. Jones is going to take him down about the 42-yard line, but good kickoff return by Isaiah Rosales. He's just a sophomore, and that sets Colby up with good field position at the 43-yard line.
Yeah, Rosales takes that ball at the 15, and he had some jets there. He took off. It ends up being a really good tackle over there on the side by the Vikings, number 42. It ended up being our kicker, Trevor Jones, who had to make the tackle, but not before he gets all the way out to the 43, so an excellent return. Now it's time for the Viking defense to strip that ball free, give us a chance to get back down and get a quick score, and then we're going to have to get at least one more stop.
2 receivers to the far side. Man in motion is Vetz to the far side. Going to hand it off to Voss coming near side. He's trying to go through, and he does. He breaks the line of scrimmage. He's across midfield down to the 30, 20. It's a foot race, and he's going to win that foot race. A touchdown run of 57 yards by Voss, and the Vikings certainly give up what they don't need to.
Yeah, beautiful hole created there by their interior line. They pulled a couple of players. One of them ends up getting sharp. The other one comes out and gets Nolan Dower, and once you get both of those guys out of the way, it was a foot race for Voss, and he was not going to lose that attempt to give yourself a chance to still tie this ball game up in your next 2 possessions to score.
Yeah, Voss broke out in the open, and Abel wasn't able to catch him. He'll go now into the Wildcat, and he'll try that right side, and he will get in for the score. The 2-point conversion is good, and our score with 10:44 left to go. Colby 32, Smoky Valley 14. Back after this 30-second timeout. And back at Colby, Kansas, Don Binkson along with Doug Snyder as the Vikings certainly trying to get the line of scrimmage stop, and Voss breaks through the first wave of Viking tacklers and takes it 57 yards for a touchdown to make it score 32-8 or 32-14. And the Vikings certainly now have an uphill battle.
Yeah, Voss puts up 236 yards of rushing tonight. He's been on fire.
Another short kick by Colby. House takes it at the 40, trying to get outside to the 45. He gets still on his feet. 45 now spins and gets knocked down about the 46-yard line. But great effort by House to try to get something out of that short kick and set the Vikings up in good field position again.
You know, we came into the night talking about the bend, don't break of the Viking defense. Had only given up 32 points all season long, and tonight have sacrificed 32 more to a Colby team that's really run the ball extremely well. They've put up a total of 311 yards rushing tonight against this Viking defense.
Plus, they've had some pretty good yards passing, so they've had a great night tonight. Vikings have wishbone formation, turn and hand it off to Blanchett, trying to get the outside. He gets to midfield and down to the 49-yard line, where he'll pick up about 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 4, and the Vikings look like they're trying to hurry up their offense just a little bit.
Yeah, you know, Blanchett was our impact player of the first half. He had 44 yards rushing for the Vikings to go along with 57 yards receiving. That's only his 12th yard here in the second half. So they just haven't been able to get the possessions the way they've needed them.
No, they haven't. The time of possession, again, in this half has certainly favored the Colby Eagles. I formation behind Peel. Blanchett in the outside. Here's a toss to Justice Autry, and here comes a flag in the middle, and looks like Viking offensive line might get called for holding there as they take down Rosales in the middle. Most likely be a holding call there.
Yeah, two of them there. It looks like Kraus and Sharp were both on Rosales there. He got back in the backfield earlier in the last couple of drives. This time it's going to be a hold on Smoky Valley. It's going to move that play back.
And right now, certainly with the score the way it is, Colby's looking like the fresher team in the fourth quarter, and just under 10 minutes now left to go. The Vikings will be faced with a 2nd down and 12 now.
And again, their defense, I know many of them play offense too, but it's a little bit different playing offense than defense. They do look fresher. They've got all the momentum, all the confidence in the world right now.
Carson Peel dropping back to pass, getting chased out of the pocket by Rosales. He throws it downfield, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by Colby at midfield, down to the 40, driven out of bounds by number 20.
I think it's Tristan Stambaugh that takes him out over there.
Yeah, but the 21 was the interceptor for the Colby Eagles. That's Connor Lanning. But pressure was coming from Rosales as Peel threw the ball and just didn't get enough on it to get it downfield. And he gets picked, and they return it into Viking territory at the 32-yard line.
Yeah, the pick took place about the 43-yard line. I tell you, they have not had an answer for Rosales at the middle. He just went to work that time, and he was back in the backfield way before Carson Peel could do anything with it. He tried to stick his foot there and make a pass, got hit as he threw, and it drifted over to the Viking side of the field, right where Lanning was able to make that interception.
Vaughn calls the signals out, going to hand it off to Voss again right up the middle, and he gets a couple of yards in right in the interior. Haven Lysell Stewart and number 70 for the Vikings.
Gus Griffith in there as well.
Getting up off the bottom of the pile. 2nd down and 8 for the Colby Eagles.
Yeah, it's just been an impressive night offensively so far for Colby. I think the Viking offense has clicked at times. They just haven't been on the field very long to be able to continue to do what they do so well, which is wear defenses down.
Pistol or shotgun formation now, man in motion again to the near side. Hand it off to the guy coming across the outside, and he gets a little bit of room, but great play by Haven to bring down number 27 Myers on the run. He'll get about 3 more, maybe it'll be 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, excellent job of stringing that play out by the Smoky Valley defense, stretching that play across. They've done such a nice job with that play all night, that little jet sweep look as they give that to him coming across the inside here to the near side. And like you said, Haven Lysell able to make the tackle. Tristan Stambaugh coming in there to wrap it up as well.
3 receivers to the far side. Voss to the side. Now he comes back with that counter action to Voss from Vaughn. And great effort by Stambaugh that time to come away with a tackle. No gain on the play. It'll be 4th down and 4.
Yeah, some excellent patience again by Voss. He does such a nice job getting behind his blockers, but this time Stambaugh fought off that block and was able to get back there and make the tackle of Voss before a short gain. And now you're looking at about 4th and almost 5 here. Again, they're going to try to take as much time off this clock as they can, maybe even taking the time out before they step on, but definitely trying to hard count, I bet, the Vikings here on this play.
Yeah, because it's under 5 yards. So if they would happen to get the Vikings to jump, it would be a 1st down. Vaughn with Voss beside him. Going to drop him back, look for a pass in the flat, and he misses that one. He finally misses a pass on 4th down, so the Vikings turn it over on downs, but that's only his 2nd incompletion of about 15 or 16 passes.
Yeah, he didn't miss a pass the entire second half to that point, and I know they've run it a number of times, but that puts him at 13 of 15 now. He's got 95 yards passing on the night, but it does give the ball back to Smoky Valley with 7:36 left to play here in the fourth quarter, trailing by 18. You're at a tough position here. You're needing to pick up 3 scores here in the course of this next 7.5 minutes.
Pickering and Blanchett go wide to the far side. I formation behind Carson Peel. Going to throw it back in the backfield to Blanchett. It's actually a backwards pass. He went back and got it. He goes out of bounds, but he hard out of bounds there. Both players get up running, but pickup of short yardage on the play.
Yeah, just a quick bubble screen there to Blanchett, but unfortunately the pass took him backwards a little bit, and so it's not going to provide much of a gain. I think they had a little chain issue there, fixing that really fast, and it looks like maybe it's just going to be, 2nd and about 9.5.
Yeah, very little gain on that play because he had to control the ball. It was a backwards pass, so he had to catch it, or otherwise it could have been a fumble, and he got it. And then he was driven out of bounds hard. We'll give him a yard gain on the play. It's 2nd down and 9 at the 7:27 mark. I formation behind Carson. Hand it off to Autry trying to get outside. He's going to get a little bit of yardage up to the 30, across the 30, maybe to the 31. We'll see where they spot it, but it'll be 3rd down and 7 now for Smoky Valley.
Yeah, nice job on the interior by Colby, able to make the tackle. And there again, Rosales making it back into the backfield. On the tackle that time, number 56. That's Nick Raymer, the backer, coming up to make the play.
So 3rd down, Smoky Valley. Wishbone formation this time for the Vikings. Double tight end. In Colby territory at the 30-yard line. Here comes Blanchett trying to get outside. He's got a little bit of room. Going to have to churn close, and he's going to be short of the 1st down. It's going to be 4th and about 2 for the Vikings across the 35 up to the 36-yard line. We'll call it 4th down and 1.
Yeah, you're in that delicate area now between needing to go fast but needing to pick up this 1st down as well. So they're going to have to make sure they maintain their focus here and pick up the 1st down first, and then you can get right back on the ball, hopefully, and get another play called.
Wishbone formation for Carson, facing a 4th and 1 in Colby territory. Long play count, he's going to hand it off to Blanchett. He gets a little bit of room and gets the 1st down yardage. Boy, they were thinking that Stambaugh was going to get it in the middle. They're going to have him boxed up, and he would have got very little gain, if any, but Blanchett gets 1st down yardage on the left side.
Yeah, it looked like a little bigger hole than it was because Blanchett didn't get a lot more than that. If it was a 1-yard play, he maybe picked up 1.5 to 2.
Good job again by Holt and Griffith and Sharp on that left side. And Haven Lysell was the tight end on the left side. Still in that wishbone formation for the Vikings at the 5:55 mark of the 4th quarter, trailing by 18. Peel rolling out, rolling in the flat. There's a flag coming down, going deep for Pickering, and he overthrows him a little bit. And it's going to be holding against the Vikings in the backfield. And they just can't contain that number 66, Rosales.
Yeah, he's just been such a horse for them tonight. He's been so strong. He's been pushing the interior line back so deep on the very first contact that it's been really difficult. You know, he's been right over the top of Austin Sharp most of the night, of course, who's been snapping the ball for us. And Austin's given up some size to him for sure. Austin's a strong young man for us, but 66 has really proved to be kind of a nemesis tonight for the Vikings.
Well, they don't list their height and weight, but he's got to be about 6'2" and about 230, 240. He's a big man out there.
He is.
He is a handful.
And he's played like it tonight, too.
5:48. Vikings are penalized about 15 yards on that, at 10 yards from the spot of the foul. It was in the backfield. Peel looking down the middle screen, caught by House, trying to get outside. He's going to gain about 2 or 3 yards is all. Good effort, but just didn't get much gain on the play.
Yeah, it was a nice quick crossing pattern there for House, but again, they laid off a little bit and tried to make sure they didn't give up anything big, and they didn't, just a few yards.
Braxton House on the reception, so it's 2nd down, and we'll call it 22 for the Vikings is what they have on the scoreboard. But more importantly, 5:20 is all that's left here in the 4th quarter. 3 receivers for the Vikings out to the far side. Shotgun formation for Carson. Got a back beside him is Blanchett in the backfield. He gets a block. Carson's going downfield with it to Blanchett, caught at the 40-yard line. He'll pick up about 15 or 16 yards of that, and it'll be 4th down and about 8 or 9.
Yeah, nice job getting us back just past the original beginning of this set of downs. But nice rollout by Peel. He's able to find Blanchett. Going to need another one of those of about the same gain to be able to pick up this 1st down here.
I made a mistake.
It is 3rd down.
Yeah, I made a mistake because of the holding penalty. I was off a down. So it's 3rd and 9 for the Vikings. Peel dropping back to pass under pressure again. He's going to throw it in the flat, and it's going to be intercepted by Colby. Stambaugh is the only one that can stop the interceptor, and number 58 on the interception for Colby. That is the end, Zach Griffin. And Carson was being tackled as he threw it, and another interception for the Vikings.
Yeah, again, just another one of those Colby linemen back there in a hurry. This time it looked like number 53 who was back in the backfield. If I have that number correctly, that's Thomas Dennis, a senior. He got back off the left-hand side so fast into the backfield. Peel was in his grasp, tried to let it go. The receiver, Blanchett, falls down. The ball's intercepted there by Griffin, and he takes it back inside the 10-yard line. Another turnover here late for the Vikings.
1st and goal for Colby now. And Colby has just done hardly anything wrong here tonight. They have just looked like a really inspired team trying to get their second victory of the year. Vaughn puts a man in motion to the near side. Now goes counter back to Voss on the far side. He's going to get tackled for a little gain on the play, about a yard. Autry turned him in, and then he got a help from Stanbaugh and Griffith on the tackle.
Yeah, it was either Griffith or Holt. One of the two was in there. But, again, they strung it out. I think you made a great point there. Jerome Autry was actually the one that turned him back inside and allowed the other tacklers to be able to get over there and make the play.
So second down and goal for the Colby Eagles. Vaughn will put Voss on the right side of him this time. Wide receiver each way for the Eagles. 3:45 and counting. A little toss to Voss trying to get outside, and he's going to get stopped. About another yard gain on the play. It's going to be third down and goal from the 6.
Yeah, Lysell there first to make the first initial contact. I think Griffith was in there to help him as well. But again, we can't say enough about the effort and the energy of Haven Lysell. He's done such a great job for us defensively this year as one of our top tacklers, and also just been such a great blocker on the line. But they've really tried to neutralize him a little bit tonight and go away from him whenever they could.
3 receivers near side, and roll out by Vaughn in the backfield. Going to go in the corner of the end zone, and running out of real estate is the wide receiver, Carson Van Eaton. Ball's incomplete. It'll be fourth down and goal.
Yeah, you said it a minute ago, though. Colby has made a minimal amount of mistakes tonight, and let's be honest, their one mistake tonight was that first turnover when they were driving down the field. It looked like they were going to score on the initial drive of the night. That's about the only mistake they've made. They have been pretty crisp along the way, aside from a few penalties, but they have really been solid both on the offensive side and the defensive side of the ball.
So they're going to go for it on fourth down here. I thought maybe they'd try a field goal, but they're not. 3 receivers to the far side. Rolling out, now dropping back, now rolling to the right side is Vaughn. He's going to have a receiver, Betts, caught, and he went right into the middle of the field and then broke to the outside, and it's a 6-yard touchdown pass at the 3:03 mark.
Yeah, again, it looked like a broken play there for a second. I think he wanted to hit Voss on the left side of the field, going away from the backfield. Instead, he got some pressure up the middle because there was great coverage on that far side of the field on Voss, and he had to bring the ball and tuck it here to his right. Betts ends up coming free, coming to the right side of the corner of the end zone. He hits him for the score, and that's touchdown Colby. 38-14 now at the 3:03 mark.
Now they will kick an extra point this time. Voss is the holder. It's high snap. It's down. The kick is up. The kick is good. And our score with 3:03 left to go in the fourth quarter. Colby 39, Smoky Valley 14. Back after this 30-second timeout. Back at Colby, Don Binkson along with Doug Snyder as the Vikings certainly look like the team that coming in 1-2, and Colby looks like the 3-0 team tonight because they have just done nothing wrong tonight. They have been impressive here in their outing. They just kind of took it from the get-go, and Vikings have certainly kind of been back on their heels all night long, and the scoreboard shows that. It's 39-14. The Vikings trail now with just 3:03 left to go. Colby will kick it off. Another short kick, this time going to Blanchett about the 45-yard line. He gets tackled right away at the 40-yard line, and that's where the Vikings will take over 1st and 10. And the Vikings certainly need a lot of points in a huge hurry.
You know, despite the fact that they came in 1-2 tonight, they were averaging 23.7 points per game. It wasn't like they weren't scoring points. I had them at 35 in their opener and then 14 and 22 in each of the next 2 weeks. But again, they just have an outburst tonight of 39 points and primarily executed by the running of Voss tonight and also the passing of Vaughn.
Yeah, other than a couple of incompletions late here, he was certainly on target, no question about that. The Vikings looked like something happened there, and well, Tristan Stanbaugh going to run it right up the middle I thought Peel had the ball, and he was getting tackled by Rosales again. He's just been a beast tonight.
He really has. He has been super solid. They didn't give us any stats for their defensive tackles so far this year, but I would venture to guess he's either had a lot of tackles or B, a lot of pressures throughout the year. But he has been very, very tough in the middle of this Colby defense.
Under 2.5 minutes left to go now. 2nd down and 8 for the Vikings. Here come Blanchett trying the outside. He gets through a first wave of tacklers and gets up near first down yardage. And give him a very good spot because he went over the back of the tackler after he hit the tackler hit the ground, but Cade didn't hit the ground. He should have given him at least a yard on that play. 3rd down and 3 for the Vikings.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think he never touched the ground with his knee or anything. Probably deserved at least the 48-yard line, if not just shy of the 49.
So 3rd down and 3 for the Vikings. Under 2 minutes we go now left in the ball game. Turner handed off to Autry, trying the right side, and he'll get first down yardage up near midfield, but tackled by, guess who? Rosales, number 66.
I would venture to guess, he hasn't always been in all the tackles tonight. He's been busy, I'll tell you that. We had him for 3 tackles coming into this possession, but he's had a lot of pressures tonight and forced the Smoky Valley runners maybe to go in directions they didn't want to go and led him into other tacklers. So he's been a solid performer for them tonight.
Wide receiver Blanchett on the near side, Abel on the far side. I formation behind Carson. And then turn it off to Autry trying to get outside. He's got some room. Here comes a penalty flag in. They're going to have a holding on the Vikings as Autry gets first down yardage, but it's going to be come back as right at midfield. The flag comes down and a step off 10 yards against the Vikings.
Yeah, Lysell was engaged out here with number 58, and I think that's what he called. It was kind of an iffy play over here. Haven wanted to know for sure if that was him or not, but I thought he had nice engagement. I thought he had a good opportunity. 58 tries to break away. I thought he left a little late on that play. Either way you look at it, the official made the call.
Yeah, it's his call to make his judgment, and the flag came out. First down and 20 for the Vikings now. Wide receiver each way. House on the near side, Blanchett on the far side. Carson dropping down, coming inside is Blanchett, and almost intercepted as he just over the top of Cade Blanchett. Vaughn, the defensive back there, trying to leap up and make a catch, knocked it down but couldn't come up with it. And it's going to be 2nd down and 20 with 1:15 left to go in this ball game.
Yeah, I think Vaughn had the interception earlier in the half, if I'm not mistaken, on the overpass down there, or the side pass, and he almost had a second one here. That one got out of the hands of Peel, really high coming out there. Vaughn just drops it again. 1:15 still to play here in this game.
Wide receiver each way for the Vikings. I formation behind Carson. Here comes the run. No, it is a run by Autry, trying to get through, and he can't get through the broken tackle of number 56 in there. Good play by Colby to tackle Autry. It's going to be 3rd and about 17 for the Vikings. 1 minute left.
I want to remind you again about the Wheat State Scoreboard show tonight from 10 to 11 on Sports Radio 1150 KSAL. Get a recap of this game, scores from the area, and other wraps from various broadcasters across the Sunflower State. That's the Wheat State Scoreboard show from 10 to 11 on Sports Radio 1150 KSAL.
3rd and long for the Vikings here in Colby territory at the 43-yard line. Blanchett in motion to the far side, toss to the far side, trying to get Autry outside. He's got a little bit of room now. He's going to sneak up and get up to about the 48-yard line, but he's going to be tackled in bounds and keep the clock running. And that could be the very last play of the game. See how quick the Vikings want to get up there and run this one. It's going to be 4th down and about 12.
Yeah, nice run by Justice off the right-hand side there, getting us near the initial stick. The clock continues to run. Looks like we're just going to run this one out. So victory tonight for Colby here in Colby. Big win for them to start district play as they defeat the Vikings 39-14.
39-14 our final score. We'll be back to wrap this one up for you after this 3-minute timeout. This is the Bank of Tuscany post-game show, Generations of Confidence, Relationships for Life. Member FDIC. Ask about their new Casasa checking account in Lynchburg, Sloan, and Lincoln, and Tuscany. And joining us now, Coach James Henderson of the Vikings. And the Viking defense wasn't sharp tonight. Colby was just exceptional tonight.
Yeah, well, they were more physical than we were. And, when they block you and you allow them to block you, then they make, yards. And so, you have to be able to fight through blocks and get off those blocks and make plays.
Their quarterback was excellent in the first half. He was 10 for 11 and then came out in that third quarter and hit 3 of 3, I think, on that next drive. So he was just an outstanding quarterback passing. So not only were they good on the run, they were certainly good on the pass.
They were very efficient in the pass game, but, their ability to, run the football. We gave up 241 yards to the Voss kid, and he's a good player. He's a very good player. We have to get better at being more physical at the point of attack, and if we're gonna, make some strides in our district here as we move on, we're just gonna have to get better at that.
No question about that. We got to get better, but the Vikings certainly put up a valiant fight with Coach not here tonight, Coach Lambert, and you don't want to make excuses, but Vikings had to be playing with a little bit of concern for their head coach.
Well, we certainly know our players love Coach Lambert. That's pretty obvious, but I don't think that was a factor. I think we got our tails kicked, and we got to get better.
We don't, like we said last week when we won a big game against Hillsborough, we don't get too high with the victories, we don't get too low with the losses, but we're going to be coming back home again next week with the Goodland Cowboys coming to town.
Yeah, I really haven't taken a look. I would imagine scheme-wise they're similar to what they were last year. I'm guessing that the quarterback is a sophomore who was the freshman last year that played against us and played very well and ran around and made a bunch of plays. So I'm certainly looking for them to have a playmaker in him, and they had a really good receiver that I think is back, and they had a really good defensive lineman that I think is back. So we will certainly be challenged for sure, and we're going to have to, get this one put behind us and get home and get the film broken down and see what we need to do to get better and certainly improve and be better next week.
Well, you do. You always look to improve, and it's early in the season, but it's the first game of the district, so you certainly would want to get a victory, but one loss. Vikings still have an outstanding season going, 3-1 on the year.
Yeah, we're glad to be 3-1 and where we're at. You kind of go week to week and have you improved, and are you getting better? And we'll have to watch the film and see where we're at with that. But we certainly are expecting to play better, especially defensively next week.
No question.
Than we did this week.
No question about that, Coach. Thanks again for coming down, and hats off to Colby Eagles tonight. They played a whale of a game.
Yeah, they did a great job. They outcoached us and they outplayed us.
A Colby victory tonight by the score of 39-14. The Colby Eagles won the toss and took the football, drove it down toward the Vikings, but then fumbled it inside the 20-yard line. So the Vikings got the ball back. They drove for a while, and they had to punt it back. And then the Colby Eagles got the ball back. The Vikings forced them into their only punt of the year early in the second quarter. And then the Vikings put together a drive. That drive was capped off by a 40-yard pass from Peel to Blanchett for the score. The point after was also good, a pass to Abel, and the Vikings with 8:41 left to go in the second quarter led 8-0. But then Colby took it on a quick play and got a score on a 43-yard Voss run. The point after was good, and it was 8-8 with 6:42 left to go. The Vikings then got the ball back, but had a 3-and-out and had to punt. They pinned Colby deep. They got the ball at the 20-yard line and drove 80 yards. And they, in 13 plays, and scored just before the halftime to make it 16-8. A 1-yard run was a touchdown by Voss, and a point after by Voss also. And they took the 16-8 lead. The Vikings started the third quarter driving the ball, but then a questionable fumble on a pass play. Stanbaugh got the ball and looked like he had his knees down before the ball came out, but they ruled it a fumble. Colby then took the ball and scored right away to go up 24-8 at the end of the third quarter. Jerome Autry got a nice kickoff return for the Vikings, but they couldn't get anything to go. Oh, excuse me, they did. They then scored on a 4-play, 34-yard drive at the 11:03 mark. That drive culminated in a 15-yard pass from Peel to Haven Lysell for the score. The point after was no good, and it was 24-14, but Colby then on a 1-play, 57-yard drive run by Voss scored. The point after by Voss was also good. It was 32-14, and the Vikings had a couple of interceptions late in the fourth quarter. Colby added on a late touchdown, a 6-yard TD pass to Betts. The point after kick was good, and the final score was 39-14. The Vikings just couldn't get their offense on track. Carson Peel had probably his best night passing, although he threw a couple of interceptions, but he was under pressure when he threw those interceptions.
Yeah, he really was, and you know, he had a nice job of throwing 2 touchdown passes tonight, but you're right, a lot of pressure from that defense at the end of the game. I mean, they could really just pin their ears back and come after us at that point in time. Stats tonight, let's go over that real quick. Colby puts up 420 yards of total offense, 65 plays tonight. They held the ball for 26 minutes and 25 seconds of the contest. They end up with 102 yards passing from their quarterback, Hunter Vaughn, who goes 14 of 17. He also threw 1 touchdown pass, that pass being late in the game here, where he ends up hitting Zane Betts for the 7-yard score. Bryce Myers caught 5 passes for 33 yards. Carson Van Eaton had 4 grabs for 29. Tyler Voss, who was just an amazing player tonight, had 2 for 19, while Colin Carroll had 2 catches for 14. Running the football is where they really made hay tonight. 318 yards on 48 rushing attempts. Leading the way, Tyler Voss, 34 carries, 240 yards, as well as 3 touchdowns. He came into the night as their leading rusher and just continued that. Prior to this, he had 336 yards rushing on the season, so he really pushes those numbers up, 7.1 yards per play. Zane Betts, 11 rushes for 76 yards. He had the other rushing touchdown. Bryce Myers had 2 rushes for 6 yards. Penalty-wise tonight, they were penalized 3 times for 25 yards. They had 1 punt tonight for 26 yards. They had 2 fumbles, lost 1 of those fumbles. That was their very first drive of the night, and that fumble was by Voss, the only real mistake that he had on the evening. They had 25 first downs, or 8 of 14 on 3rd down, and 4 for 5 on 4th down. Defensively for Colby, Nick Raymer led the way with 10.5 tackles. 8 of those were solos. Ian Rosales had 4 tackles, plus a number of hurries against the Viking quarterback tonight. Shane Puckett had 4, Voss 3.5, Myers 3.5, Lanning 3.5, and a host of Eagles also getting tackles on the night. The Vikings, meanwhile, 285 yards of total offense on 46 plays. 129 of that through the air, as Carson Peel goes 10 of 15. As we said, also threw 2 touchdowns and had 2 interceptions late in the contest. Their running game, which has been so awesome the last few weeks, only puts up about 156 yards on 31 attempts. Still averaged 5 yards per rush. Leading the way, Cade Blanchett tonight. He had 11 carries for 73 yards. Justice Autry, who was coming off 3 straight 100-yard performances, only mustered 68 yards tonight on 13 carries, and Tristan Stambaugh, never able to get going in the middle, had 6 carries for 15 yards. Receiving wise for the Vikings tonight, Blanchett led the way. He had 4 catches for 71 yards. Haven Lysell Stewart, 3 catches for 35. Both Blanchett and Haven Lysell had a touchdown catch from Carson Peel. Autry, 1 catch for 12 yards. Stambaugh, 1 for 9. Braxton House, 1 for 2. The Vikings had 5 penalties tonight for 40 yards. Of course, did finish the game with 3 total turnovers on the night. 2 of those interceptions, 1 of them a fumble. Tristan Stambaugh, 2 punts tonight for an average of 43.5 yards. They only held the ball for 21.5 minutes, 11 first downs, 5 of 11 on 3rd down. The Vikings did not have to attempt a 4th down play. Leading tacklers for Smoky Valley tonight, Austin Sharp had 10 tackles, 4 of those solo. Haven Lysell Stewart, 8.5. Stambaugh, 8. Blanchett had 7 tackles to go along with his offensive night. Abel, 6. Nolan Dower, 5. Jerome Autry, 4.5. Cody Kraus, 3.5. Max Brewer, Justin Holt with 2, as well as Gus Griffith. Trevor Jones had 1, and Vincent Pickering also had a tackle.
Time now for our Next Tech Wireless player of the game. Next Tech Wireless, something different, isn't just a slogan at Next Tech Wireless. They're about our communities because they live here too. Next Tech Wireless is Kansas-based and world-class in supporting their neighbors. They have the latest devices and plans for everyone with friendly, knowledgeable, and local customer service. They're committed to providing the best wireless network in Kansas. Visit one of their 50 locations across Kansas. Have you got a couple of options, or what do you think?
You know, it's a tough night for the Vikings offensively and defensively, unfortunately. I still like, our one that we went with early as an option. Cade Blanchett finished with 71 yards receiving and a score. He also had 73 yards on the ground for a 6.6-yard average. And then also threw in there 7 tackles. Haven Lysell Stewart was solid again tonight as well. 8.5 tackles to go along with 3 grabs for 35 yards and a score. A couple of nice options. I would probably put my money tonight on Cade Blanchett. I think he was consistent first half and second half. It doesn't mean there weren't other guys. Like I said, I really thought Haven had another nice night.
And Austin had a good night.
Austin had a good night, especially defensively. And Austin had one of the toughest tasks tonight, which was to line up across from Ian Rosales. So I thought a number of guys had individual performances tonight, but I'd probably put my money here on Cade Blanchett tonight.
We'll give it to Cade Blanchett tonight, our player, Next Tech Wireless player of the game. Time now for a Salina Surgical scoreboard update. Choose Salina Surgical Hospital for your outpatient procedures or inpatient stays. Salina Surgical is proud to be partially physician-owned. Final, Minneapolis 15, Norton 7. Final, Derby 77, Salina South 7. El Saline 0, Plainville 36, a final. And that's all. Abilene was behind 14-0 at the end of the third quarter. I don't have a final from that one yet. You got some of the league scores.
Yeah, Wichita Collegiate's turned it around against Heston. They're up 31-21 in the fourth. Holcomb up 33-0 on Nickerson. Pratt 50-7 over Larned. Andale finishes off Halstead tonight 58-0. Marion defeats Haven tonight 20-18, and Hoisington beats Phillipsburg 28-13. In our districts, last we saw, Scott City was up 21-0 on Goodland. That was in the third quarter. And Southeast of Saline 71, Russell 0. That's a final. So they rolled up Russell tonight. Of course, those 4 opponents are our next 4 opponents as we come up in this remaining part of the season. Of course, we get a chance to be at home next week and the week after. Goodland next week, and that's a homecoming night for us as well.
Right.
Got the homecoming festivities next week. Next Friday, we'll, of course, be doing the parade downtown at 2 o'clock. The pep rally down at the band shell right after that as well. And like I said, play Goodland next week.
And then Scott City the week after that, also at home before we go to Southeast of Saline, and then home with Russell. So that's the rest of our... How about volleyball? JV volleyball tomorrow. Varsity isn't playing. JV is playing tomorrow.
Yeah, JV at Minneapolis tomorrow, and then next Tuesday should be Varsity, the whole 9 yards next Tuesday against Larned. I think it's Larned and Haven is what we talked about on the way up here, but I know it's at Larned for sure. Also want to throw a shout out. We didn't mention, I know it's not sport related. We do have the mattress fundraiser tomorrow that we haven't talked about a lot. Our music programs, of course, they had a 1-year hiatus last year with COVID and everything. We didn't do it, and so they're back with that tomorrow. I believe it's between 10 and 4 tomorrow in the Smoky Valley Commons area. So if you're interested in purchasing a mattress, all the proceeds go to our music department. It's been a very successful fundraiser in the past. I know they're looking forward to people coming out and joining them tomorrow as well.
Jay Myers was at Quarterback Club on Tuesday, and you mentioned the outcome of the cross country. They're not participating tomorrow. They're on next 30th, which is, I believe, next Thursday at Halstead. And then girls tennis is...
I don't think they play. Varsity
Till the
doesn't.
23rd.
Yeah, Varsity doesn't. 23rd is
Well,
already
that's
over there. Yeah.
JV. Yeah.
So 23rd was yesterday. It looks like they've got a JV one probably next week on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken.
And then league already on
Yeah.
October 2nd.
Exactly. So it's right around the corner. We've got a lot of things already here that are starting to wrap up. Of course, tennis wraps things up early. You know, we didn't have a lot of time tonight to talk about the realignments or anything like that for next year. We should be able to talk about some things like that as far as some things changing as far as football is concerned, as well as other sports for this year. But of course, we'll realign all the football things going into next year and figure out what we're going to do. But hopefully we'll have some time to address that a little bit more in the upcoming weeks.
One huge change was in volleyball. Nickerson dropped down to 3A, so they'll now be in our district in 3A. They were 4A. Got a final at Christian Prep, beat Abilene 14-7, and Chapman all over Marysville 48-16. Is a couple more finals there for you. Again, here our final tonight. Colby wins it big 39-14. Any final thoughts?
You know, we came in here tonight 3-0 against a 1-2 team. I don't think we overlooked them, but I think Colby played a fantastic football game tonight. I think our guys came out and battled, and that first half, I think, was really a big sway. You know, we got the initial stop. We weren't able to do anything with it, but we eventually do take the early lead 8-0, but they were able to jump us in that second quarter. But I think that opening drive of the third quarter was huge. You know, we had every opportunity maybe to get right back in the game and tie the game up. And we just didn't come away with anything on that drive. And I think the momentum swung. They actually went on a 22-0 run, 24-0 run after we put up the first 8 points by scoring 16 in the second and 8 in the third before we get the quick score to open the fourth quarter, and then they finished with 15 straight. So that 24-point run was huge to change that game, and I think we could have changed a lot of that if we would have scored on that opening drive of the third quarter.
Yeah, questions that we don't have the answer for because we never know, and we certainly wish we'd have had replay because we don't think that was a fumble, but it was called a fumble, and that's the way it works in high school football. Well, that'll be it. Our final score again. Smoky Valley falls to 3-1 on the year. They lose it 39-14. Back home next week against Goodland, followed up by Scott City the week after that. For Jared back at the station, for Mike Rose and his crew here doing the live.smokyvalley.org, for Doug Snyder, this is Don Basin wishing everybody a very pleasant good night. Safe travels on the way home, everyone, and we'll talk to you next Friday from Anderson Field. Take care, everyone. Good night.